See, this is...
I could be so lucky. Hi! Welcome back. It's Storytime with Uncle Punky, which is filmed in front of a live studio audience.
Three people.
Four people. It's all production crew, but it's like, what was that? Talk Soup with Joel McHale?
Yeah.
He pulled it off.
The crew laughed.
Look at him now. Yeah, he wound up as a banker and Spider-Man, I think, one of the original with Tobey Maguire.
Let's just give him Community.
Yeah, that is a dynamite show. Actually, I like his new show on Netflix. I'm Uncle Punky. It's nice to meet you guys. We're going to tell stories and the whatnot about pop culture things as we do weekly now, except for holidays and stuff that we take off. But once we get going, maybe we can do, reruns.
Reruns?
We get some reruns in syndication.
Hey.
And speaking of syndication, we're going to be picked up, and I think we may already be picked up, down in Kalamazoo. Our friend Kenji down there is putting us on cable access.
Woo!
Which is dynamite, yeah. So we're going to be on TV and also all over the web, on the Twitch, we're on the YouTube, we're on the Facebook, we're on
the Googles.
The internets. We're planning on slowly taking over the world. One pop culture topic at a time.
It's a get there slow.
Today's topic I'm excited about because I don't get to spend too much time with our guests. We see each other a lot, but we don't get a lot of time to spend where we get to talk and we get to converse like we want to. So we're going to do that a lot today. It's going to be a good day. But first, as always, Roger.
How's everybody doing today?
I'm glad you come back every week.
I'm glad you have me.
I know it's the Wayne's World style of pirating the internet that we're doing down here, but
literally from a basement.
It's better than me talking myself. We tried that. It was 12 minutes long, and I consider it a failure. But I got to talk about Stan Lee and get some emotions off my chest.
It was more of a therapy thing for you then.
Right. Yeah. So now that all the emotions are gone, it's all just
now it's just heartless jabber.
Yeah, jabbering comedy. But we have to start, of course, with our births and deaths and the whatnot. I think they're mainly births. I don't know if we even do deaths anymore.
Yeah, deaths are depressing.
Regardless, they're important information about people who go throughout pop culture that we discuss pretty often. There's a lot of them that come up here. Well, not this one. 1896, he was born. George Burns, American actor from Oh God. On the 20th was his birthday, 1896. Oh God, comedian, George and Gracie.
The old stuff was so ahead of its time. Right?
Yeah, just cigar chomping, little old man. He always seemed like he was a little old man, even like in his younger days with brown hair, like Steve Martin.
Yeah,
you're like, oh, you've always had silver hair. That's just how it is. But he lived to be 100 and
something.
100, like exactly. It was exactly 100. Yeah.
Wow,
that's crazy. Yeah, the oldest living comedian for a long time. In 1920, DeForest Kelley. Damn it, Jim.
Damn it.
Fossil Jim. Fossil Bones. He was
Are you out of your Vulcan mind?
How's your Vulcan mind? He was in one Night of the Lepus. About the bunch of rabbits. Bunch of giant rabbits that eat everyone.
God, great movie.
Which I saw on Facebook. There was a story about rabbits that are cannibals or eating people.
Bath salt rabbits?
Possibly. Okay. Got to do something with the bath salts now. They're not in news anymore, so somebody's eating them. 1934, Tom Baker, English actor, is a big favorite of a lot of the production staff and people I know as a Doctor Who.
He was my first doctor.
He was your first doctor?
He was my first PBS doctor.
Do you actually see a doctor now?
I have not seen a doctor in years.
You're getting up there in years. Don't rely on TV doctors.
As soon as I see a doctor, they're going to tell me what's wrong and I'll die.
I saw George Clooney last week. It's good enough. He was a doctor.
Well, ER doesn't count.
Yeah, 1946, David Lynch, director, producer, and screenwriter. He's done some bizarre things.
Batshit crazy movies, yeah.
Twin Peaks was a huge one for a long time.
Lost Highway.
And now it's back. Yeah, Lost Highway, which had an amazing soundtrack.
Yeah.
Which we actually discovered when we were talking about some music stuff that'll tie in later. That has to do with our topic today, surprisingly. Connections. Paul Stanley, 1952, of Kiss.
Kiss, the Star Child.
The Star Child. And, of course, they have comic books galore. There's a new one that's out. No. I don't know what it is. They look young and buff in it, and it's ridiculous. It's like, you're not fooling anybody. You're not even fooling anybody with the makeup now when you're on TV.
My favorite, though, was the gimmick they had when they released the first Marvel comics, and they all put a sample of their blood into the red ink. Oh, yeah.
It's too much.
That's gross.
Just stop. 1958, Lorenzo Lamas. He is an American actor, director, and producer. That much I didn't know. I do know him from Renegade. Him and his Indian sidekick traveling around in Winnebago while he was on his cool chopper. They actually did a little skit of that on Mystery Science Theater with Mike as the host. That was hilarious. 1966, Rainn Wilson, American actor from The Office, but numerous other pop
lot of
culture
movies,
things.
yeah.
The latest was The Meg, where he
Yep.
played that douchebag, which you just the whole time you're like, oh, please get eaten.
And
Please get eaten.
I loved him in House of a Thousand Corpses.
House of a Thousand Corpses, yeah.
Where he played a geek?
Super. He played that like offbeat, normal, like a kick-ass character, just a super guy.
Just
in
a little
normal,
weird, yep.
weird, yeah, very weirder. But he's been in all kinds of stuff. Surprisingly,
love him.
throughout the years. On the 21st, Gina Davis, American actress, producer, coming back to Beetlejuice.
Beetlejuice.
She was in the first Beetlejuice, of course. Earth Girls Aren't Easy.
Earth Girls Are Easy. Great movie.
That is a great movie, and it's a 80s movie for the kids watching at home. It's an 80s movie, but it's your typical line of
With a, again, strong soundtrack.
yeah. It had Jim Carrey, Damon Wayans, Jeff Goldblum.
Yeah.
Yeah,
the
because
three
Jeff
names,
Goldblum
yep.
and Gina Davis were in everything together.
Yeah,
like
yeah,
The
they were a
Fly.
thing.
The 22nd, 1940, John Hurt, English actor.
Oh,
He played he played an android in Aliens. That's probably what most of the pop culture community would know him as. I mean, he's been. What's that?
He also played a doctor.
he was
he was
a
a
doctor.
doctor.
He was the Elephant Man.
I'm not a Doctor Who guy. Oh God,
He
that
was
such a
he was
great
John
movie.
Merrick as the Elephant Man.
Technically, he was only in 2 Doctor Who episodes as a doctor.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. Well, it's like
He was the War Doctor.
the Grand Moff Tarkin.
Um,
Peter Cushing.
Peter Cushing.
Who played a doctor in those
In the-
one-offs that were
not
canon.
canon, yeah.
Right. That's it's too much of that going on. Stop that. 1949, Steve Perry. Steve Perry. He should have been gone.
Oh,
My favorite line in basketball. Absolute. Singer-songwriter of Journey. Also producer, I think. He was getting back with them for something.
the
As
Rock and
they
Roll
do.
Hall of Fame induction.
Was it?
Yep.
Has he still got the pipes? I wonder.
He's
I
coming
think
out with a
that's what-
solo album.
Didn't he stop for a while? Because,
He stopped because
of
of the
that's a lot of shouting.
thing,
going
but
on,
he's
yeah.
come back with a solo album. So.
1959, Linda Blair, American actress known for The Exorcist.
Oh.
She was terrifying young
Absolutely
Reagan back in the day,
terrifying.
but still stands the test of time.
I did a convention with Linda, and I had an illustration of Linda
Oh,
Blair from The
yeah,
Exorcist.
Yeah.
And so I sold a ton of those prints that weekend, took them to her, and had her sign one for me.
Nice.
And she signed it, Roger, your art makes my head spin.
Ah, a good pun. That's a nice pun on a classic. All right, 24th, Ray Stevens, singer-songwriter, actor, sometimes, was born in 1939. 1941, Neil Diamond, American singer-songwriter and guitarist.
There's nothing more to say about
it's Neil
Neil
Diamond,
Diamond,
man. He still wears those shiny jackets.
Yep.
Sings about coming to America today. That's one of my favorite. It's powerful stuff. 1943. It's too bad it wasn't last week. Sharon Tate.
Yeah, Sharon Tate.
Model and actress.
The most-
Involved with the Manson family.
Yep.
Involved.
She's the victim of the Manson family.
Right, victim of the Manson family. 1947, Warren Zevon, American singer-songwriter, Werewolves in London.
I love Warren Zevon.
It is a great song.
A great song, but the depth of that catalog is overlooked.
Yeah, he's
and
got
he's
a
so
lot
good.
of his stuff is really, really, really good. But most people only know Werewolves of London.
Yeah.
Because he howls and he sings about having perfect
And
hair.
every October, it's a huge song on the radio.
Every October, yeah, it gets because Monster Mash, Warren Zevon, the Time Warp,
Frankenstein by Edgar Winter Group.
Right.
Yeah.
There's a limited number of you can use. 1970, Matthew Lillard, Shaggy
Shaggy.
from the Scooby-Doo
Yep.
series, which he nailed it, dynamite, hands down. Casey Kasem voice was almost there too. You know what I mean?
He
Like that
was
old-
close with it, yeah.
He was really emulating the cartoon character, which was great. Also, he was in Scream,
Scream, yep.
another pop culture one. Part of the movie Monsters. It wound up in that McFarlane line. I know that.
Yeah, he did.
Of toys. 26, 1925, Paul Newman, actor, activist, director, race car driver, businessman. He co-founded Newman's Own delicious salad dressings.
So good.
It is wonderful. It's expensive,
Butch and Sundance.
but it goes well with Butch and Sundance. Yeah, that
That's
was
such
that
good-
was a great one. Well, the one where he shot pool with Tom Cruise.
The Hustler.
The Hustler, not Tom Cruise. Was it?
Yeah.
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 Man, I'm really showing my age and the fact that I can't remember stuff. Also on there was Bob Uecker and somebody else. I don't know. We skipped ahead. Oh, Gene Siskel. Siskel and Ebert.
Siskel and Ebert.
Huge influence on me voicing my opinion about a variety of movies and the like.
I remember watching at the movies with Siskel and Ebert every Saturday.
Mm-hmm. And then it was
And then, like,
just
the very next weekend, I would go
Siskel.
see the movie that I liked the most.
Yeah. And they were pretty I mean, they actually had really good... I mean, they were opinionated, but still it wasn't over. Like, yeah, you know what? Go see it. I didn't like it.
Yeah.
I thought it was awful.
But if it's your
But
thing,
you know, if you're into this and you like that, it's like, oh well, yeah, I do like those things. Thank you, I appreciate that. Be so snotty about it next time. All right, and I'm excited today because it is comic book day.
Comic book
We're
day.
going to talk about comic books, and we can't do it alone.
no.
I mean, I know so much, and you know so much.
but
we
not
need
enough.
someone who's kind of connected to the industry.
Who knows everything.
Who knows everything about comics. We're really hyping this up. This is going to suck for you if you fail. I'm just
Someone
saying.
who's so into the industry they own a comic book store.
I've heard of this place. I've heard it
Yeah.
mentioned about town. Actually, we've talked about it a few times. I know I bring it up
I think
all
we've
the time.
mentioned it every episode.
Because that's where I get things from. Is Tardy's Collector's Corner and our good friend Gavin. Gavin Willard.
Slide on
Come
down,
slide on
Gavin.
down to the couch.
What's up, fellas?
Not a whole lot.
Hang out in the basement.
The typical stuff. You had good holidays and such.
Fantastic holidays, absolutely.
And as for the store, you guys have had rousing success.
It's been great, absolutely.
It's ever building.
This time of year is always rough because it gets slower. When it gets cold out, everybody's, nobody wants to go. I spent so much money on Christmas, I don't want to do this.
No.
So, I know, right? Exactly.
No, you're like, I don't even want to go outside.
Actually, if you were smart, you would have spent so much money on Christmas at Tardy's.
At Tardy's, exactly. Gift cards, I mean, come on, guys.
Yeah, everybody's got gift cards now.
But yeah, no, holidays were great. People are coming back in. A lot of times it'll be like, we're busy up till Christmas, and then we don't see anybody until after tax time.
Until tax
Yeah.
season.
Oh, yeah.
And everyone's like, oh, I'm ready to spend again.
Yeah.
So,
I need you to pull half of your store.
yes.
So I
yes.
can come and just buy in bulk.
I'll buy it March 15th when I get my tax returns back, and just hold that there. Until.
Nice. Well,
Yes.
we're going to talk about some newer things that are going on in the comic book world. I'm behind. I'm way behind.
I can catch up.
That's why
Absolutely.
you're here. Before we're going to do all that,
Yeah.
you guys actually have some big news about the shop and exciting events that are coming up.
Yeah, man.
Anniversary time.
Anniversary time.
That's a lot of years.
Yeah.
This year is our 40th anniversary being a store.
That's ridiculous.
Um,
For a comic book
That's
shop.
amazing.
40 years.
Because
I
I mean, we read articles, and I think you posted a couple on Facebook. Some
Yeah.
of them are they're striving.
yeah, absolutely.
It's tough market and communities. I mean, the movies are helping a lot
Sure,
now.
sure.
To push a younger crowd and different generations of people.
Yeah.
Towards that, but I mean,
Well, there was that picture that went viral last year, I think, of a guy that had a box. Not even a box. It was just a stack of comics. It was, 3 or 4 feet high, where it was like, oh, this is $10,000 worth of books that people just abandon here.
Wow.
And it happens all the time. I
Yeah.
mean, so there are rough goes for comics. I mean, we're lucky that we do well. We have our own little weird niche.
Grand
And,
Rapids isn't as big of a city as it makes itself to be.
Right.
Honestly, it's a very small knit communities
Exactly.
of people who are all loosely connected. Like we
Yeah.
were connected long before concerts.
I've known you forever.
When I did radio
Yeah.
stuff, you guys were just hawking adorable jewelry.
Yeah, man. We
At
used
concerts,
How-
and we just hang out and just chit chat about comics, and then boom.
Yeah,
You guys are in
absolutely.
Tardies.
You'd steal my army helmet and run off and go.
I would do that at concerts.
Talk into
Yeah,
microphones and stuff.
That's going to be my profile
That's-
picture again soon.
that's
That's
legit.
my favorite summer profile picture.
Absolutely.
We bumped each other at flea markets.
Yeah, man.
Searching for weirdness. Chicago.
Yeah, right.
Random Comic-Con. Walking around
Weirdly.
Chicago. You and the lovely wife.
Absolutely.
Yay! I'm like people from my state.
I know people.
I know you.
I know you guys, and I'm so excited. So,
It's like, sorry, I have to do this. I'm touching your face.
are you real right now?
Oh man.
Helen killed him all day.
That's
Helen
right.
killed him.
Exactly.
Before we do any of the other topics and stuff, we're gonna do a top fives
Yes. Sweet.
because I was raised on specific favorites in comic books. I'm a Marvel guy.
Yeah.
I lean towards DC. My list will show it dips into DC. All right, but I'll go first.
Okay.
I'll show how this is
Take
done.
us away.
Yeah.
My first one on my list is actually my number 5.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm going 5 to 1. I'm starting at the bottom. Batman and the Joker. I'm
Great.
blending them into my number 5. Technically, most people assume they would be number 1 because I have many a Batman shirt, and I'm a huge fan of the Joker. I intend to get artwork placed on me of the Joker. I got it's they're great storylines when they get together.
Oh, they're fantastic.
Most of the time, I invest myself in any DC stuff. If Batman and the Joker got something weird, or he's invested his time into messing with some villain to go after Batman, or whatever the case may be, I like it. That's just it's a great character, and they're both such strong characters, and they're so opposite each other. You know what I mean?
Right.
Talk about a lasting duo of characters too.
Yeah.
I mean that's
Absolutely.
a long history.
And they keep trying to change Joker's history. I'm curious about the Joaquin Phoenix movie.
Yeah.
It looks good.
It looks cool, and they're trying to do this book, and DC's been teasing it for like the last 2 years,
Right.
called The Three Jokers.
Yeah,
Where
yeah.
it's kind of like insinuating that the Joker that we've been dealing with is actually 3 different versions. And I'm very interested to see
It's
what.
confusing.
Yeah.
It sounds confusing. But the way they tie it together, it's hard to say.
Yeah,
Has the original Joker been
Comic
dead?
book stories have never made anything convoluted and
Get
confusing.
out of here!
Right.
No.
Well, there's so many Elseworlds and knockoffs and
Yes.
non-canon and this and that. All right. Number 4 is kind of an offshoot of DC. It's the Heckler,
Awesome.
which was Keith Giffen. And I was going through a thing about Keith Geffen at the time, but the Heckler was one of my main because it was just silly.
Yeah.
I mean, you're just making puns and jokes, and the artwork is just so. It's full. Every page is full of artwork. I mean, there's little notes, there's little signs that are lit up. I mean, it looks like a weird Vegas strip in most of the episodes. And also, he did one called Trencher that had that same style.
Dude.
But the Heckler was just, it was fun for me. You know what I mean?
And what's cool about Heckler and Trencher that you mentioned, they're not expensive books. They're great. They're so much
And
fun
you
to
can
read.
find them in the older bins.
Oh my god, you can find them for $1 a piece or
and
whatever.
They're just entertaining stories.
Yes.
And the Heckler kind of takes me back to like a Spider-Man, that fun, bouncy character who's just mouthy and the like. Third on my list is Gambit. I liked him as an X-Man. He worked out okay as an X-Man, but you know, Gambit on his solo stories, he's cool. He was a thief. He was a rogue. You know what I mean? And he was dating Rogue, and he was the cool character. He had the stick, the trench coat. Oh, I throw playing cards. Yeah, I'm a gambler. You know what I mean? He was just slick, and his costume was so different from everybody else's through the 90s. You know what I mean? It was coming up in the 90s. Everybody had the big knee pads or some kind of
pouches.
Yeah,
Everywhere.
pouches everywhere, shoulder pads. He was just a basic character. Carried a deck of cards because he was badass enough. Gymnast, very acrobatic, and just.
And you think about it, it's like you could bring like bouncy balls to use as a power or whatever.
Yeah.
That's not cool.
No.
Throwing a playing card, that's cool.
It's just looks cool, but he could take a table.
Right.
I mean, it's not like it was just playing cards.
Right. Yeah.
He just chose to use those to diffuse his enemy.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? He was part of an assassin's guild and a thieves guild.
I'm kind of going to lean towards bouncy balls now, though.
Right?
I mean, if you charge a super ball, throw it around in a room.
How awesome.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Eventually it'll come back.
Yeah.
You'd be like,
I'm good with the bouncy balls.
Look at that.
blow half your hand off, but it'll come back. My number 2, which people are also surprised is not my number 1. There's reasons it's not my number 2. Spider-Man. The Amazing Spider-Man.
Oh.
I grew up with him. I was raised by Spider-Man.
Yeah.
I had cartoons, comic books, posters, movies, the TV show. He was on Electric Company.
Electric Company.
Yeah.
He was everywhere in my life. I had the pajamas, I had sheets. I mean, I grew up in the late 70s, all throughout the 80s. So
Yeah.
I had so much stuff, and being an only child, that really helped too. So I had the Mego figures and stuff like that. I mean, if it was Spider-Man, I had to have it. The books were they were so fun. He was a normal kid like me. He went to school, but then he had other responsibilities that he had to take care of. You know what I mean? That it was just, he was a fun character. He was cool to watch. The poses, and then just like when he wanted to be creepy, but he was too mouthy to do it. You know what I mean?
Right.
There's somebody you can relate to.
Yeah, absolutely. Do you have a favorite Spider-Man artist?
Joe Quesada.
Yeah.
Joe Quesada is my favorite artist.
Yeah.
Hands down. I mean, I do like when I wasn't a big fan of when Bagley was doing it.
Sure.
It's just, I don't know what it was. His style wasn't that good. Larson, that was kind of the same over the years. He did great with Savage Dragon. That seemed like a different style, but when he was doing Spider-Man, I don't know. I wasn't behind it.
You gotta love a character that's so good. I think in the 80s he was running like 4 titles at the same time.
And doing it well.
And even now.
And they were all
Yeah.
He's got like 4 titles.
Exactly.
I mean, it's spinning off a whole bunch, but I guess I'd be remiss if I didn't mention Todd McFarlane.
I was going to say, yeah.
He kind of reinvented the Spider-Man into more of an adult character.
Right.
Got him out of his teenage years.
Right.
Yeah.
Just shoved him right into adulthood with a whole bunch more responsibilities and then love life and just...
And I get into this, it's kind of an unpopular opinion. I mean, it's, but
Sure.
we talk about it all the time that, like, Ditko, creator, created all this thing.
Yeah.
I like John Romita. I like John Romita
Yeah.
Sr. I mean, like, that guy,
Yeah.
you look at his pencils and it's just like that.
I had the poster. It was just the Spider-Man. You know what I mean?
yes.
It was
poster,
that
yeah.
iconic Spider-Man just swinging in.
Yes.
Yep.
And a gorgeous artwork that was on my walls forever. All right, I'll move on. Oh, and the Japanese Spider-Man. You can find it on YouTube, Japanese Spider-Man.
so good.
Well
It's
worth
the
it.
best.
Deadpool is my number 1.
No surprise.
What?
No surprise.
Get out of here.
It's the mouthiness that gets me. Like I said, most of these characters, if you notice, have a little bit of a theme
They have
to
a bit
them.
of a mouth to them.
A little bit of a mouth to him, but I mean,
Sassery.
obviously he's
That's right.
gaining
Sassy.
his popularity throughout the movie world now.
Sure.
I mean, Ryan Reynolds is Deadpool, hands down.
Yeah.
But even the comic book series prior to that, you know what I mean? All the other classic series and the books that he's got, and he just trolls Thanos.
Right.
It's just brilliant, and he just can't be stopped. His mouth
fantastic.
can't be stopped. And
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
just, it's well written. I mean, they could just come in and just, we're going to have fun. Oh, he's making
Right.
puns. He's going to fight a big mega robot chicken. Okay.
He's gonna
Sure.
That's
he's gonna
fine.
break the fourth wall in comics.
Yeah,
You know.
fifth wall.
Every time.
He
Yeah, right.
goes beyond walls. I
Yeah,
mean,
right.
even in the cartoon world, that Spider-Man, what was that Spider-Man series that Marvel had?
The more
Where he was
recent,
like a Shield agent, or he was like being trained by Shield, but he
Yeah.
had like Luke Cage.
Oh,
There was like Ultimate Spider-Man.
yes.
There was an episode with Deadpool on it.
Nice.
Taskmaster shows up, he's a great character too, but it was just it's so funny.
I always love the Hulk versus Wolverine where he shows up. Maybe you watch that and he slashes his arm with it. What am I supposed to do with this?
Yeah, he's like bang 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 bang. Even on the video games, any video game that he shows up in, his own video game,
Right.
it's over the top ridiculous.
Good stuff.
Who wants to go next?
I'll go
Gavin,
next.
let
Gavin's
Gavin
next?
go next.
Okay.
We'll move down the couch. We'll
All
go
right.
this way.
There we go.
All right. So I didn't really do it in any order. I just because I can't. Like I'm
It's
broken.
hard.
It was
Right.
hard to go 5, and I appreciate
You're
you
surrounded
doing-
by more of it than we are.
really
so.
am. Yeah.
We're all broken people on these couches.
Right, legit.
Look at where we're at.
Yes, exactly. One of my favorite things though is Transmetropolitan.
It's a great series.
Oh my god! If you
Amazing art.
It's so good, and if you like Hunter S. Thompson et al., if you like really weird, cool, over the top stories, most of my stuff you're gonna find has got R-rated humor in it. So if you really got to have a sense of humor for it. But man, Transmet. Just the high concepts where there's the cat that has
And
two
it's
faces.
bizarre. Yeah.
Yeah, and the cat gets pissed off if he doesn't
Very
have his brand
Frank
of
Miller-esque
cigarette.
artwork to it.
Yeah.
Very full pages of
Yes.
just dynamic art.
That's one of the things I love about that book too, is that you can spend an hour looking at a piece and keep finding things
Yeah.
in that illustration.
You know who it is? It's Jeff Darrow.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
Jeff Darrow,
Jeff Darrow.
holy crap.
A lot of the stuff he's done for DC
Dude.
is just chock full of
Detail
just
work.
detail work.
Oh,
Yeah.
what's his name? The ninja, the samurai. God, I can't think of his name. Oh, God, that's horrible.
Samurai Jack.
Yes, no. he,
Usagi Ujima.
he puts out these books, though, and it's once a year. I'll see him at cons, and every year he puts out a book, and my customers have me pick up his art books.
Okay.
Every page is just like the most detail you've ever seen. You can spend a half an hour on every page.
Wow.
Just looking
I
at
gotta
stuff.
invest in more Jeff Darrow.
Oh, it's so
do.
good.
Definitely.
The next one I've got, I couldn't pick a series, but Batman. I mean, like...
There's so many.
Hush, I mean, like Black Mirror, where Dick Grayson is Batman, and Francovilla's the backup, and Jock is doing the main pencils.
Yep. I like the Batman and Robin where Nightwing was in the suit with
Yeah.
with
With
his son,
with Damien, yeah.
Damien.
That was a
Yeah.
great series
The,
too.
the Grant Morrison, Frank Quitely stuff is so good. Professor Pig gets flushed out as a character in there, and
And they made him a lot darker.
Oh, holy-
the Azrael series, the
Yeah.
Nightfall. It was weird, but it was cool getting other people that he could put in the suit
yeah.
to continue on the Batman. You know what I mean?
Here's my thing.
Because the Batman became more of a mythos
Right.
than a singular person.
Right.
So, yeah.
Yep.
Exactly. Here's my popular opinion for this. Anybody because I get asked all the time, what's going to be the next hot? Like, what should I be buying that's spec that's cheap
Yeah.
right now? Azrael, his first appearance is in Nightfall.
Yeah.
It's like $1 book. You know, if you
Wow.
if you're looking for a pristine copy,
Sure.
it's like $5.
Wow.
I mean, it's a cheap book, and if they
Quesada art.
do in Quesada art, you know,
Yep.
Right, which is what first drew me to it. But then what they did with the suit, that bugged the shit out of me.
with the flame fists and the
No,
hood
Azrael's
and the-
suit. Azrael's
oh,
suit was
yeah.
perfectly fine.
Oh, the Batman suit.
That update, the Batman
Yes.
Azrael suit thing
Yeah.
with the weird metal. It was the 90s.
Yes.
Everything had the hollow foil covers,
Yes.
or it was made of tin foil, or whatever the hell.
But
it was.
it did look as if like a Shogun warrior and Batman had a baby.
Yes.
Oh, the best
So
baby
disturbing.
ever. The most powerful baby.
Powerful, violent detective baby.
Yes. So good.
His fist shoot off.
I should have brought Shogun Warriors to show. No.
Another show.
Oh,
Yeah, we're
yes.
gonna have you back.
All right,
this
fantastic.
isn't a one-off. All right.
Excellent.
Next on your list, I don't know about.
So most people don't. That's why I picked it, because I was like, you know what? I love this book. I love putting people onto it.
Right.
And this is another one that you have to have a twisted sense of humor for.
Ooh.
It's a cop named I can't remember his first name, but his last name's Fell. He gets in trouble. They never really say what he did because he was kind of in an upscaling neighborhood, but he gets in trouble and gets moved to across the bridge to this area called Snowtown.
Okay.
And you can see in the picture he's got a flaming mark on his neck. He gets branded with like the brand of the town. But it's just all insanity. There's some weird degenerate that's wandering around constantly in a Nixon mask, and one of them he buys a prostitute, and one of them he points a gun at him and like just wanders off. There's all this crazy stuff. There's a guy that he's gonna suicide.
Sounds like the West Side.
Yeah, exactly. in issue 1 and 2, he gets shot or stabbed each time, so his suits get all ruined.
Okay.
He goes to the secondhand store to get a suit, and he goes to go try one on. It's this nice old couple. There's a guy with a suicide bomb in there. And you find out that these old couples, anytime somebody came back from war, they would get these guns, whatever guns were donated to them, and they would distribute them to the elderly people in town that were afraid and constantly. Sure. So this guy, him and his brother broke into somebody's house, and his brother got killed, and he blames this old couple for his brother dying. So he's going to suicide bomb.
Right.
Basically, the guy gets his hand cut off. It's fantastic and dark and twisted. Like a guy's eating a sandwich and a piece of tomato falls in a chest cavity. He's doing an autopsy, pulls it out and eats it. It's a gnarly book and it's so good.
So it's good and graphic.
Yeah,
excellent storyline.
It's all drawn by Ben Templesmith, the guy who did 30 Days a Night.
Yeah,
oh yeah,
my God. Yeah, we've talked about that 30 Days a Night. We talked about the adaptations of comics into movies, and that came up.
Yeah.
I'm more prone to the visuals on the second one.
Yeah, definitely.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It just had more stunning stuff to it, but that guy's artwork.
Oh, yeah.
The cover work and everything on that series was great.
He's my favorite, too, because he's like a squirrel when you talk to him. Like, you'll talk to him, and like 5 minutes later, he has no... Like, you leave and come back, and he's like, hey, nice to meet you. I was just here.
Goldfish
I was just here, man.
Just swim to the other side of the bowl and back. What happened? Next one on your list.
Iconic. Watchmen. I mean, Watchmen's one of those books that... I know everybody has their favorite for Alan Moore.
Sure.
Swamp Thing.
I grew up with Swamp Thing.
Swamp Thing's great. I just reread all of the issues again.
And he's got some new series coming out.
He's got
DC.
He's doing League of Extraordinary Gentlemen stuff right now.
No, I mean there's a show.
Oh, new Swamp Thing. There's a
Swamp Thing
on the DC streaming.
On the DC streaming, which I've caught part of the Titans, which I dig. But
I've heard it's great. I haven't watched any of it yet. I'm honestly, dude, I'm waiting for Swamp Thing. Because if they're going to do Alan Moore Swamp Thing,
you need
I'm
something.
I'm done.
But The Watchmen is actually getting a revival.
Yes.
HBO. Don Johnson.
I know. I'm really interested to see what it's going to be like.
What's Crockett doing there? Makes no sense to me.
I'm interested what they're going to use, if they're going to use. I'm sure they're going to use the Before Watchmen stuff, which is a bunch of miniseries.
Sure.
They're doing a book called Doomsday Clock right now, which introduces all the DC characters to Watchmen.
There was some stuff tying in with Batman. With the
Doomsday Clock.
Okay,
yep.
And that's still ongoing.
So it's them basically trying to figure out what happened to Dr. Manhattan after everything happened.
Okay.
And so it's Rorschach, but not Rorschach, not the actual character.
The one who got killed, right?
There's another one. There's a new one that kind of took up the mantle. Oh. And Ozymandias and... Is there any... Oh, there's a couple of new villains that they introduced.
Like Spectre and...
Owl
guy.
There's this guy named the... Oh, God, what's his name? The Mime, I think. Huh. It was something along the Mime. I can't think of what his name is, but basically he mimes things out and it happens. So he pulls a finger out and does this, and right.
Oh.
So
I like that.
But the series has been great. It's written by Jeff Johns, who fleshed out Green Lantern and Flash, and absolutely,
the dark mind of Alan Moore.
Yes.
All right. This one I can relate to because I'm getting older,
dude,
and I don't shave,
and you got the chops,
and I have some chops.
You definitely, you're one bloody arm away from being old man.
I gotta salt and pepper it out a little bit
That's
more.
right.
Yeah, I gotta work on my hairstyles a bit.
This is my favorite Wolverine story.
It's good.
It's so good.
Oh,
yeah. It's dark. It's violent.
Yes.
It's post-apocalyptic.
It feels grounded.
You got the.
It does feel grounded.
Yeah, absolutely.
And it's got a weird side character that you wouldn't have expected to last.
The blind Hawkeye.
The blind Hawkeye.
Yeah, man.
Which was Old Man Logan.
Absolutely.
Old Man Logan was It's a dark tale.
Yeah, man.
The Hulk is this creature.
He realized.
I don't know if he doesn't even seem human anymore when you would actually read it.
He realized that the only person that could really sire him children is his cousin.
His cousin.
So there's a bunch
Walters,
of
She-Hulk.
There's a bunch of inbred Hulks running around. So there's stuff
real backwoods overalls.
Yes.
They got the hats and it's
wrong turn Hulks.
Yes.
Oh, it's wrong turn Hulk.
Yes.
I want to see that movie.
Yes.
And then it's Hawkeye.
There's
missing an arm.
I don't remember.
No, he's blind.
Yeah, he's blind. Yeah, he's blind through but he drives a spider buggy.
The spider buggy.
Yeah, right.
How are these things that are the ones? I mean, I understand Hulk and Wolverine. Why is Deadpool not roaming free?
Right, exactly.
But Hawkeye's there.
So
of all fucking people.
And basically, if you're wondering what happened to everybody, basically what happened is all the villains realized there's like 6 villains to every hero, conservatively.
Yeah.
So they're like, why not let's just rush the gates and take care of this thing? And if you want to read, there's funny stuff too. There's the inbred Hulks.
Yeah.
If you want to read devastating stuff, the whole thing with how the X-Men went out
Yep.
and
Yeah.
Mysterio
Yeah.
and Wolverine, that will bring a tear to your eye.
It is depressing.
It is.
And well, like Logan, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
Kind of
right.
loosely based off that, and that's pretty sad too.
That's happy,
At
man.
the end of that, just that hurt me inside
I
for
know.
a nerd. I'm like, I don't have these kind of emotions. Get out of here. All right. And third on our list, Roger,
I'll
in
take a
your
stab at
top five.
Okay, and I too grew up in the 70s and 80s,
Yep.
very much a Marvel guy.
Yep.
We're starting at top of the bomb on my list.
We're going at the bottom of your list, I believe.
Bomb of the list. Okay, huge event in the 80s. Big to me. I was in the
Great
heart of
toy
reading
line.
everything. Great storyline. Secret Wars.
Secret Wars.
12 issue, huge event in the Marvel universe.
If they could have redone a movie version of that,
yeah.
that would have been dynamic because the toy line that went with it, with a little, they each had a shield with like a hologram,
The hologram,
thing with like a
yep.
scene or something. Spider-Man got his black suit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Jim Shooter writing.
Jim Shooter writing.
Mike Zeck.
Mike Zach, I have his autograph.
I've got his autograph on that cover.
Yep, of course you do. I took those with me to the Comic-Con when he was there, and I'm like, I'm just going to buy a poster.
So that was a big one. Again, Marvel. I love the combination of heroes. I
The two-in-ones.
loved when they comboed super villains. I loved when Spider-Man. But the Marvel 2-in-1s with the Thing.
Marvel 2-in-1s.
The Thing is the most.
Thing ruled those.
Yeah.
The Marvel
Yeah.
2-in-ones.
Oh, I love you.
There's a lot of love in the room now.
There's a lot.
Absolutely.
The Thing is
Kinda
the
make it
coolest
weird.
character. He's the most rounded, the most relatable. And then you throw him with anybody.
Spider-Man,
And he's got that smart ass.
Ghost Rider,
Yep.
Wolverine. Yeah, he's teamed up with pretty much everybody.
Yeah.
Actually, I like what was it? More recently, it was the Thing in Deadpool, like
Yeah.
tag team.
Right.
They're like tag team wrestlers or whatever.
Yeah.
That cracked me up. But like the Thing, he wants to play cards. He's like every man's man.
Yeah, right.
He's made of rocks. He wants to play cards and chomp cigars and, drinks beers.
It's cool.
and-
The one issue that I remember dearly from this, and I introduced my son to comics through this one. The Thing had like broken an arm or something, so he was in the hospital. All
So
the
realistic as that
supervillains
sounds.
thought he's wounded. Let's attack him now.
Yeah, now's the time.
And then all the heroes defend the hospital.
Yeah.
And then the Sandman gets in with a pizza and some cigars and beer, and they go, "You're feeling bad. Let's just have a have a
He's
drink
like, I'm
and
not
some
here to
pizza."
fight.
It's like,
Not here to fight, bro.
oh, it's the best.
We're just gonna
Love
talk
that
it out
issue.
next time. I tell you what, when your arm heals, you get back to me.
Yeah,
Yeah, we'll
right.
fight.
We'll pencil you in.
Yeah.
And your next one, we kind of we touched loosely on.
We
and
touched
at
loosely
first,
on
I was
in the
like,
movie,
we're
yeah.
not going to do these, but we are going to do these because they were important
They
Oh,
were.
man.
They were.
in the 70s. Well, prior to that,
in the 50s.
In the 50s.
Yeah, in the 50s. This is
Tales from the
pre-code.
Crypt, Haunt of Fear, Vault of Horror. Basically all the same comic. They just changed the title every with each week's release. But oh my god, anthology horror, multiple artists,
And the
They
imagery,
were
just
so
even
good.
the imagery on the covers alone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you guys put that back up again? Can you? Just the imagery. Look at how dark that is. And that's for the time, even for the 50s.
for the 50s.
Yeah.
Oh man, but that was. I mean, there was a
Because it-
resolve at the end,
Yeah.
mind you. But
And there
man,
was always
was,
that twist. It was either humorous or a very Twilight Zone-ish twist. Oh
Yep.
yeah.
And did you stay more towards like the haunting stuff, like Tales from the Crypt and the
I did. I loved it. I mean, it tied in with my love of horror films and
Sure.
anthology movies.
well, see,
And that creepy art. Oh.
like sci-fi and horror are they're close cousins.
Yeah.
You know, very
Oh,
close
absolutely.
cousins. Because there are some sci-fi tales that you could easily like Aliens.
Well,
Alien.
when EC was coming out with their horror anthologies, they also had sci-fi anthologies too.
Yeah.
There was
Yep.
there I think 2 or 3 titles. They were very similar, all the same writing staff and teams, but
Yep.
just some had a little more sci-fi
Yeah.
feel. so-
Yeah, one was on a moon,
Yeah.
but same horror elements.
Yeah, exactly.
And talk about markets that have gone insane is EC pre-code horror stuff. When I say pre-code, pre-comic book code.
Pre-comic
Right,
books,
right.
yeah.
So they made this code that you can't show witchcraft
Gore
and gore and violence and all this kind of stuff.
Which Stanley helped to fight and change.
Yeah, right. And before that, it was like everywhere. I mean, like
Yeah.
I've got one where it's like a severed head as a bell, like the hunchback ringing a bell.
Yeah.
There's
Yeah.
a severed head as the
Yeah.
placard.
I think it was the baseball game where they used the other team's body parts as the bases is
Yeah.
what really did it.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah. And you can't do that anymore. Well,
No.
you can. I mean, they push some envelopes with covers and stuff like that, but the
Right.
inside artwork
Yeah, you
is
can.
pretty much game on.
You,
You know what I mean?
you can do it on a. Go ahead. Sorry.
I say, but to the context of this, to comics, for a series of comics that I think lasted, what do I got here? 50 to 55 years.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
50 to 55. Still making an impact on comics, films,
Yeah.
and everything to this
Oh, yeah.
day.
Because we talked
That's
about like
huge.
Creep Show, Tales from the Crypt, Amazing Stories was kind of like loosely. I mean, it wasn't more family friendly, but
Yeah.
Twilight Zone, which like those comics were obviously
much. a part of.
Similar to, because you
Right.
get these X amount of stories, and they tell the tales, and then there's, well,
Yeah, 5 years worth of comics is influenced still today, so that's
amazing.
huge to me.
That is good. Next.
Sam Keith's The Max.
Nice Max butt.
Nice Max.
That's
Good,
right.
good looking Max.
That's
butt.
right,
Best butt in
really is.
comics.
Absolutely.
Honestly, his artwork was so bulky and dynamic. The shading
weird,
is just
yeah.
incredible, and it was weird. Like Max was a bunny.
Yeah.
Oh, that storyline is
Outland,
so good.
They animated it for MTV.
Yeah.
Which is easily one of the best anime. It's as close to the comics as you could possibly get. It's
Yeah, that
true
was
to
the
story.
earliest. That was the earliest, I think, version of a comic book adapted into a cartoon that was strict from the
Dead.
comic.
Oh, yeah.
Those are like
Even
panels
from
come to
what was
life.
her name? Julie.
Julie,
his
the
the
Jungle
blonde
Queen,
girl.
yep.
Yeah.
The Jungle Queen. Yeah, and it was just, oh man.
So, and it's a trip too because he just kind of comes back out of nowhere every once in a while. They just did a 6-issue Batman the Max crossover.
That did see
It
that.
just finished up. Yeah.
And like I said, that his artwork when he was doing, I remember there was those
The Marvel Tales.
the Marvel
Yeah.
tales. They had the
with
ones
Wolverine.
that, like Wolverine all the time. He's all just big and bulky and just,
And the muscles with the
and-
hairy forearms.
and that
stuff.
inspired a lot of
perfect.
the artwork that I was doing through the '90s because I saw Sam Keith and then Pitt.
Yeah.
And when he,
Oh, yeah.
No, Pitt was Dale Keown.
Yeah, Dale
What was
Keown.
the other one that Keith was doing? Something? Oh, why do we not know this?
my brain's going to the Batman Secret stuff that he did.
I think that was
Yeah.
the other one. Yeah, I think I might have been thinking of Dale Keown because he had that Hulk run that was
Yeah.
bizarre with this Professor Hulk, and that was really smart.
Yeah.
All right, I'm getting off topic. I gotta stop doing that.
We're gonna get lost.
Go.
So my number one, another Marvel limited series in the
Mm-hmm.
80s, Machine Man.
And he's
4th
made a few
issue.
comebacks.
Yeah.
He's made a few comebacks, but
Mm-hmm.
it's Machine Man. It's set in the future. It's very much like Blade Runner in the Marvel universe.
Yeah.
A
I
lot of the
can see that.
a lot of the heroes are gone. It's very dark future dystopian.
And he's not a fan of humans.
no,
Not so much.
And
He
it is
He's
such.
kind of a. How do you put it?
He's over the people.
He's a little over the people, but he
He's
carries
over the
it.
people.
You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like
Yeah.
he's just gruff.
Yeah.
He's
Yeah.
gruff.
But-
He showed up in that Marvel Zombies.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, he was a Marvel.
Absolutely
Well, they couldn't do anything with him.
Right,
So
exactly.
it was kind of pointless.
He's
at
like,
the time.
try it.
Yeah, and he showed up in something else. Kind of. I mean, they kind of try to.
They try and bring him back. I mean, he's
into the
Machine
fold.
Man started in Marvel's spin-off of 2001,
Yep.
Oh, okay.
and he got pulled into the standard MCU. But
So he's like hell.
Yeah.
yeah,
So-
pretty much.
What are you doing, Dave?
But it's a 4-issue. It's beautiful.
Yeah,
it's
it's
so
great.
well written. Tom DeFalco
Yes.
Oh yeah.
writing, who,
Which
you know
he's done everything.
He has done
I mean,
everything. Yeah, for every company, everything
Yeah.
for
Yeah.
all the peoples.
Yes.
We're going to move on from our list. We're going to touch loosely on some of the things that they tackled in comics, in the
Yeah.
comics industry. There were some big events that led to a lot of things that are happening now in the comic universe.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of the titles that we had covered individually in our top fives. That's why we're going to touch briefly on some things. I know they can hear me. But one of the examples that we talked about off air was Batman. Well, you tackled like Batman Hush.
Yeah.
That was one of those storylines that happened where he had a friend of his. That he grew up with.
Yeah.
Tommy.
Tommy Elliott. Yep.
Who was very good friends and admired by his family. They knew each other's families and vacations and stuff.
Right.
And he grew up, and then something happened to Tommy. Tommy wanted to look like Bruce.
Yeah.
He found out he was Batman. He wanted to be Batman. I mean, he just wanted to take over his life.
Well, and even post Hush too, they used Tommy Elliott to he was Bruce Wayne. Like when
Yep.
when Batman died, because Batman died in the spoiler alert, Batman died in the comics for a little while.
A couple times.
He just actually just went back in time. But anyway,
Not much of a spoiler. That happens all
because
the time.
yes,
yeah.
comics.
because comics,
Because
whatever.
comics.
But anyway, he so Nightwing and everyone were like, no, we're gonna use you. You're gonna be Bruce Wayne. Like you're gonna be the keep up appearances guy.
We need you to think he's still alive.
Right, Dick Grayson's gonna be the behind the cowl. But yeah, you're like you're Bruce Wayne. Go on and be a rich spoiled.
Bruce it up.
Go Bruce it up.
Live the lifestyle.
But-
But it's kind of like a jealousy story.
Yeah, exactly.
Honestly. I
Right.
mean, his whole tale is just a tale of jealousy,
Seriously. And as far as Hush goes, it's Jim Lee art all the way through.
which is dynamite.
It's
He
amazing.
did our X-Men's and
It makes your eyes bleed. It's so good. It's fantastic.
Find a copy of that for sure if you
Yes.
haven't checked it out. Hush is a good read.
Yes.
Hopefully they animate that one.
Oh,
dude.
dude.
I love DC's animated. Those are truer to the comics than their movies are, so
Long Halloween, dude.
that would be great too.
No, they're doing it. It's announced.
they are?
They're announced. Long Halloween is announced,
My heart's
dude.
gonna stop. And Long Halloween is very similar
Sorry.
to like Batman, the Batman Year One.
Yes.
Oh.
Yes.
Frank Miller. Oh, fantastic. Well, Long Halloween or Tim Sale. And Tim Sale had a few of them like Red, Blue, and stuff like that.
Yeah,
like
right.
For Spider-Mans and things like that. But Year One is the tale of Batman's first year.
Yeah.
He's not even wearing... He doesn't put on the costume until after, but he's got like
late in that
ski
run.
mask and just Frank Miller art. Again, it sells me every time.
Yeah.
Um,
End of sentence. You know, I mean.
end of sentence. But it's
so
a good story
Yeah.
of his first outing and how he's not quite peak as he is even in year 2. You
Right.
know what I mean?
Yeah,
And
yeah.
Year 3, I mean, he's still learning and growing, and it's dynamite.
And the story arc with Jim Gordon in that.
Yeah.
Story arc
Oh.
with Jim Gordon.
Love
So
that.
good.
And we can't go without mentioning Frank Miller, of course. Dark Knight
Dark Knight
Returns.
Returns.
Yes.
Quintessential.
So good.
It's
I
the
mean-
end-all, be-all of a graphic Batman tale of a future
Yes.
Batman. It's it helped spawn Batman Beyond, our
Yeah.
older grizzled Batman.
Yes.
Batman vs Superman, the metal armor fight scene.
Yep. Oh, complete full. Yeah.
Exactly. It's a good story.
Yeah.
Him and Superman have been best friends for years, and they just kind of stay out of each other's business.
Right.
And, you know, Gotham's what it is. It's overrun by mutants. Politics. Joker comes back. Sane, insane.
Man.
Meets
On
his
the Letterman
demise.
show.
Wonderfully.
God.
The Batmobile is a tank the size of 2 city blocks.
Yes.
It's so worth checking out. And the artwork, again, Frank Miller.
And then going back to it,
Yep.
DC animated with both Year One and
Yeah.
Dark Knight Returns, 2 of the best animated movies.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love them
Yeah.
both.
One thing too that's really cool about Year One again, real quick. So they introduced James Gordon Jr. Like he
Yeah.
has a son that
Yep.
they don't really.
The one who winds up crazy.
Yeah,
actually.
that's what I was gonna say. Is
Yeah.
if you're interested in what happens to him, because he kind of disappears out of comics, they don't do anything with
Shows
him.
up like, what, 30 years later,
Yeah.
40 years later, something like that.
Read Black Mirror. Oh my God! Talk about a dark story with him.
right.
Holy crap!
And you would expect something like that to happen with good old Jim Gordon's family. And
Yeah,
how
right.
Good and, you know, something. Not Batgirl, obviously,
Right.
because she went the side of good, but...
Yeah, man. You get Barbara, you only get one good kid. All right.
Right. You have one.
But you get a good wholesome family surrounded by the scum of the earth. Something's going to go.
Something's gonna break, you know.
Something.
So,
Yeah, that's too much darkness. in
which
your
they
life.
just tried to bring him into back to new comics. They're doing the Batman Who Laughs miniseries.
Okay. We're going to talk about that. in the
Okay,
next segment.
all right.
No,
That's new.
All right, I'm so sorry.
I do need to talk about that because
We'll-
I'm
we'll get
curious
into it.
because I'm
We're going
behind.
to table
Yeah,
this
yeah.
new minutes.
All right.
2 minutes. Marvel, of course, had a few. The Thanos quest.
Yeah, you know, Jim Starlin just
They had a couple. He had nothing to do for a little while. Ron Lim did
Yeah,
some of the artwork.
right, you
Jim
know.
Starlin is just fantastic. But it's a lot of Thanos looking for the gauntlet, going on the
Yeah.
quest for everything.
it's a two-part miniseries, and yeah, I mean, look, you can get the graphic novels.
It's
and
a
stuff.
great read. But
Yeah.
that's kind of the precursor to where we are in the Marvel Comics universe. And
Absolutely.
the Infinity Gauntlet, and the Infinity War, and
Crusade,
the Infinity Incorporated,
Yeah,
or whatever
right.
that they're doing now.
A
And,
ton of them.
And, you know, Marvel had a few other, you know, Spider-Man had a few graphics, red and blue.
Right.
Which was like the Long Halloween,
Yeah,
same
right.
Tim Sale artwork, stuff like that.
Spider-Man Blue, Hulk Gray, Daredevil Yellow, and
Yep.
Captain America White.
Yep, which are
Yep,
all
yep, yep.
fantastic
So good,
series.
so good.
And they get most of them in a collection.
Yeah,
One
yeah, yeah.
thing that I think killed Spider-Man off for me, and really the series alone, the Clone Saga.
Yeah,
They tried to do too much things.
And,
Yeah.
and that
And
saga
nobody
took,
wanted
like,
to happen.
3
Like,
years to
Yeah, and DC had
finish
Crisis
off, yeah.
on Infinite Earth, Crisis on this, Crisis on that.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Sometimes they overdo it with their gaping storylines.
Yeah.
But without those events, you can't introduce new characters, you
Right.
can't see people switch sides, get new costumes or powers or whatever else. So it's the ever-changing soap opera.
You gotta
that
take
is
the good with the
comic
bad.
book.
I
Gotta take the
You
good
have
with
to
the
take the
bad.
good with the bad.
I feel like any of those things has those big, giant, wide sweeping that just didn't quite land.
Yeah.
Age of Apocalypse was
Yeah.
another one that went. I mean,
Yeah.
it's a good read, but
But
it
they
went
took
in,
a couple characters out of it. And going back to Thanos real quick, that newer series with Thanos,
yeah.
Thanos
The
wins.
Thanos wins the Donny
that
Cates stuff.
introduced
Cosmic Ghost Rider.
Cosmic Ghost Rider,
Yeah.
Frank Castle, which
Yeah.
we'll talk about in the next segment because that's confusing as hell too. Our producer Chuck,
Yeah.
he's got a favorite, which is also one of my favorites. I think you guys would agree. Deadpool is Spider-Man.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Because
absolutely.
why wouldn't you?
Right,
Why
exactly.
wouldn't you? It's like when that one cover that brings to mind of Wolverine. where
Yeah.
he's wearing Deadpool's costume.
Yeah, right, exactly.
Those 3 characters you can go into. So, yeah. So we're gonna go into segment 2. We're gonna take a quick intermission so I can get something to drink. Smoke a quick cigarette. We'll come back. We're going to talk about what's new, what's current, what's
Awesome.
going on.
Killer.
Maybe we'll keep it short. Probably not. We'll talk about our brief music.
There's
yeah.
the three of us here on this couch. No,
Movie
it's not gonna
music
happen.
talk, stuff
No.
like that. And then, we'll come back with more story time with Uncle Punky and more stories.
Oh, yeah.
Evan,
Yeah,
dig
absolutely.
it. We'll be right back.
Sweet.
Now we'll play these Hulk hands.
Nice.
At Schaefer Orchards, our hard cider is so good, it pours itself. Don't believe me? Oh, I got you. Puck cider.
from Charlie's Collector's Corner, and of course Roger on the opposite end of the couch. We've been talking about comic books because that's what we do. That's what we know.
I got a wheelhouse.
It's who we are.
It's where I'm in.
And we're going to tap your wheelhouse now.
Oh.
Because
Oh.
we're going to tap his wheelhouse. We can edit that later. We'll bleep that out.
Uncle Punky After Dark.
We'll bleep it out. That's the late night show. Late night talk show that I'm running.
Baywatch Nights.
Wow. Side note, I did watch the new Baywatch movie. It wasn't horrible.
No, I liked it.
I laughed.
Yeah.
I like The Rock.
It's funny. Guy gets his balls caught in a bench.
It's like, not even 10 minutes into the movie, you're like, oh, dick jokes. Okay.
Fantastic.
All right.
I know what I
This
get.
ought to be
Yeah.
good. So we're going to talk about current. What's going on now and today, what's hip and what's happening in comic books.
Oh, man.
Like I said, I'm behind.
We're going to be here a while.
I think, well, the most recent I'm into, right, is
Yeah.
the Mystery Science Theaters,
Dude.
which I received from his store, and I got to come back in for the new one.
Have you talked about those yet? Because
I have talked about
Oh,
them
my
some.
God.
It's because our producer asked me, he's like, how does that interpret with riffs?
Right.
It does.
It does.
totally does.
They have
Perfect.
jokes in there. I mean, it's so weird. I mean, you're reading like a comic story, but they got like older comic stories and like the Crypt Keeper one where the crow is. They take on roles. I mean, but it's science based.
Yeah, where Tom Servo's got like a big barrel chest
Yeah.
and he's like a reporter.
He's like
like
a teenage heartthrob
Yeah,
from
right.
like the 50s pulps,
Right.
like the love
like
comics.
Del Gold key stuff.
Which is ironic because he actually does have a barrel for a chest.
Exactly. Yeah. I don't think it was coincidence. Like Jonah's a bumbling sidekick for some Batwoman-like character
Yes.
and stuff like that.
That's an
Which
actual
is-
character. Yeah,
Yeah.
old 50s. Yeah.
Oh yeah, and they actually, I don't know if it was Rift Tracks or Mystery Science Theater that did a Batwoman.
Nice.
One of the old black and whites.
Yeah.
Where she just had the pointy hat and the bustier thing and did a lot of dancing.
Hey, all
That
right.
works for me.
I think that was about it. But aside from that, so that's how far behind I am. I
Yeah.
think Civil War, I read some of it when I knew the movie was coming out.
Sure.
That was even, what,
That was
years ago now.
2006.
I just-
Yeah, something
Right,
like that.
and that's a long time ago
Yeah,
now.
right.
So let's say Batman. What's going on with Batman?
Okay, so there's a couple big things that you can talk about with Batman.
Okay.
Detective 1000 comes up.
Yeah,
And
that's
everyone's-
a big one.
Everyone's like, "What is that?" It's the 1000th issue of Detective. That's ridiculous.
That's many issues.
They've got a new creative team on it, leading up to something big, and it's been fantastic. It's
do they
Doug Monkey's doing the art, and Peter Tomasi's doing
He
the
did a
writing.
lot of the stuff for the Mask.
Yeah,
And I am absolutely in love with that
yeah,
comic
dude.
series.
So Doug Monkey also he did a bunch of the both of these guys. They do a ton of background characters. So like Blackest Night for Green Lantern is amazing. They wrote the stuff for Green
Okay.
Lantern Corps, where it's like the dead children are getting rings from Oa, like the kids that died on the planet of Oa. So
Okay.
they write these really creepy, good
Yeah.
stories, you know,
Interesting.
that aren't the main story, but they run along with it perfectly.
Okay.
Tomasi also wrote the Batman and Robin stuff where Damian dies for a short time in the comics.
Yeah, I had heard about that.
Yeah, it was a title called Batman and Robin, and then it just switched to Batman and, which was like Batman and Red Hood, Batman and
Somebody we can put in here.
Yeah.
Some
That
sidekick.
time, yeah.
and literally it was
How'd that feel for Red Hood?
right. Oh, dude. So it's like Red Hood is excited. He's like, yeah, we're gonna go out and we're gonna do another mission again. You know, it feels good. And Batman goes, ha, yeah, show me where Lazarus Pit is. And Red Hood's like, no, you don't want Damien to come back that way. He's going to come back insane. And Batman's like, cool, deuces. And he leaves him in the middle of the desert.
Batman is no nonsense parenting.
No. So he does this with, like, so he has Frankenstein Agent of Shade on. And Frankenstein gets dosed and wakes up, and Batman's dissected him. And
Batman's taking a
Yeah.
turn.
Yeah.
Since getting his heart broken.
It's the lighthearted, family-friendly comic. of the
Yeah,
year, right
Because
there,
Batman's gotten his heart broken recently.
Well, yeah. So this is before. This is New 52. But
Oh.
the stuff that with this heartbreaking, it's Tom King. And if you don't know Tom King, like you guys know Tom King because I talk about it
I
constantly.
wasn't anywhere near that crash.
That's still cracking me up.
He wrote Vision, which is
Yeah.
a 12-part miniseries that is one of the darkest things that's been written in a long time. He wrote Mr. Miracle, which brought new gods and stuff like that
Yeah.
into people like into the foreground.
Yeah.
And he's writing Batman right now. He's writing 100 issues of Batman.
Wow.
Wrote the whole lead up. So what you were mentioning is he was going to marry Selena Kyle,
Yep. Marrying the Catwoman.
which doesn't happen.
Of course not.
Yeah, right.
It's a
yeah,
comic book wedding.
Yeah, of course. You know,
Wait, somebody else got married recently in
there's
comics.
a bunch of them. So the Thing married Alicia Masters.
That went off without a hitch, I'm
Yes,
sure.
perfect.
Did it?
Yeah, it really did.
Oh, wow.
Well, there was,
I was being sarcastic
there
and
was
facetious, but
there was
here we
like
are.
there was like villains trying to crash the thing, but
Oh,
you know,
of course,
like
Well,
it actually
there's a history of bad Fantastic Four wedding snafus.
right.
So.
They made a movie about one of them.
yeah, they did. So
Just saying.
bad. But the other one that was recent was Kitty Pryde and Colossus.
Which didn't go through.
Didn't go through, but what did go through
Rogue and Gambit.
was Rogue.
That one
Gambit.
I'm up to.
And-
Because the wife likes Rogue.
Sure,
Of course, I'm a big fan.
absolutely.
Joker Harley thing and all that.
Terry
Nice.
Dodson covers the books.
Oh, yeah. Terry Dodson.
Oh my God, underrated, so good.
Amazing artist.
Yeah.
Who was the one who was going back to Batman? Who was
Yeah.
doing Batman for a while?
Which one?
Who was it? Who took over for the Spawn series?
Capullo. Capullo, man.
Capullo's artwork on Batman and the things he does with those characters,
Dude.
and just some of the darkness and just the creativity that he puts into that character. That
Right,
they give him
absolutely.
so much freedom, and he does such a good job of that.
If you're looking for like a good Batman run, like this is the longest running amazing story. I mean, like Batman has lots of good short bursts,
Oh yeah,
but like
yeah.
New 52 and went 52 issues with the same team.
Yep.
Scott Snyder, Greg Capullo, they
Yep.
stay on it through the whole thing, and it
What
is
a team.
holy
It's where they
crap.
bring Joker back into
Joker
get
back
his face.
where he's wearing the oh
that image alone. And I want to get a tattoo of him where he's wearing the mechanic's outfit. It says Joker.
Yeah,
and he's
yes.
It's such. I always see it in my head when I'm like, I
Right.
want this art. It's amazing.
yeah,
And
man.
they got figures that were based on
Oh,
that,
yeah,
which
absolutely.
are
They're
exactly like they were in the
gorgeous.
comics. Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's well worth the collection. But that line that you're talking about where he like kidnapped the family and he wanted blowing off Alfred's hand or something.
yes,
And
yeah.
it was bizarre. I mean, Joker just went all out.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. So there's
Even
Bet-
by Joker
and bet-
standing.
and-
right.
And bested him,
Yeah.
Yeah.
to be honest.
So that storyline is fantastic. Court of the Owls.
Court of the Owls.
That stuff showed up in Gotham.
Yep.
That's the first place that it ever shows up. It's the first
Year
appearance.
zero?
Year 0 year. Oh my God.
0 year?
Where they tease into that and where it's the Riddler going on, but at the same time, there's a character that like injects you something and it makes your bones grow at an exponential rate.
Yeah.
So you become this tower of bone while you're still living.
Yeah. Oh.
Oh, gnarly.
Even just the thought of becoming that is not
No.
comfortable.
Awful.
Makes my arms hurt.
So New 52 Batman is fantastic. So I was like, there's no way they're going to do it. It's going to be awful for the next 6 years because that was so good.
Right.
Then they get Tom King, and Tom King's like, hold my beer. So he did, one of my favorite things that he did is this story called The War of Jokes and Riddles.
Yeah.
It takes place in kind of like 70s Gotham.
Joker
And
versus Riddler.
Riddler, right, yep. And they divide the villains.
Oh, okay.
And it's one of the coolest stories. You get a nice clear-cut story about Kite Man. Kite Man comes in
Kite
just...
Man?
I know! I'm as surprised as you are.
Pull up a picture of Kite Man while we're talking. This
While
is
we're
for-
at it,
Oh,
for the
man.
people who are watching this.
Condiment King
Kite
and
Man.
Quill
Yes.
Man should come in.
Condiment
Yes,
King.
and I'm pretty sure that Crazy Quilt was in there. Yeah, absolutely.
Oh, and that was a good thing about Batman Brave and the Bold.
Yes.
We talked about this before, how
Where
it's
they
like...
pulled in some of those.
Yeah, how it's
Yeah.
like a sequel to the Batman 66,
Yeah.
where it's just these awful... Yeah, any picture
And they
will
would
do,
pu-
I'm
they would
sure.
pull in those
There he
C,
is.
C, D, and F.
With the powers
Level.
of a kite.
That's right, and a man of a man.
A hang glider, maybe. We're not even really sure.
Yep,
what
and
that is.
that's from, it looks like that's from the Tom King stuff right there.
It's got to be, because it looks
Yeah.
a little bit more updated. Technical glitches.
That's-
That's fine.
But, man,
All right, there's what it looks like on the computer. He's just ridiculous.
he's ridiculous.
It's like Stiltman.
Yes.
Why do you want to do that?
Right, what are you
All right,
doing?
Thank you.
So-
I appreciate it.
So Batman is great. Like Batman the Solo is great. We're about 65 issues into a 100-issue run because
Wow.
Tom King's like, I'm doing 100 issues. Issue 50 was the wedding that didn't go through,
Right.
but he's like, look, I got another there's like 35 more issues that
Sure.
he's writing.
Anything
He's-
could happen.
Right, exactly. You know, that's fantastic. Detective's been good. Batman Who Laughs.
Batman Who Laughs. You're blending two characters that I enjoy thoroughly when you're doing this book. It's spawns off the Batman Metal. Or
Batman
Dark
Metal. Dark Knight's
Knight
Metal. Yep.
Which is just all these like metal,
It's
crazy versions.
Yeah.
I mean, they're amazing looking.
it's a dark multiverse.
But the Batman, I keep on saying the man who laughs. The Batman Who Laughs he was afflicted with something that the Joker had already done to him
Right.
previously.
Yeah.
Joker dies, it takes over Batman.
Right. So, his storyline is dark. All of those storylines are dark and really good. I mean, like, fantastic reads. All the Dark Knight's Metal, and it's cool because with Dark Knight's Metal, you can read it in segments. You can read Just the main title. You can also read the Gotham Resistance. You can also read just the Batman the Drowned, Batman. There's all these different versions of basically everybody from the Justice League.
Just dark versions.
Dark, gnarly, where like it's a Batman of that world kind of combined with Aquaman or with Green Lantern, and it's all the horrible things that happened. Yeah, that's the Capullo cover right there.
One.
Yeah, the one where he's holding the card. Yep, that
right
one.
there.
That's the cover to issue 2, I believe.
Yeah, we'll try and share this one.
Yeah, or no, that's from Metal. But
either way,
yeah,
it gives you the idea of.
It's a nice introduction.
It's scary because he's got this metal plate around his eyes with spikes.
Yeah,
he's got that Joker grin that just eats up the whole rest of his face.
Yeah,
and it's just Batman.
And chains and the trench coat.
And he's got hyenas that got the grin.
Yeah, man.
Or robins. He's got like these
He's
little
got
demon
robins. Yeah.
Yeah, he's got like a million of them.
Yeah, right.
It's almost like
It sounds
the
like
darkness.
McFarlane.
It does.
It does. And honestly, because, Capullo,
yeah,
he took over from McFarlane on Spawn for a while. And he
so
tackled
spikes
that.
and chains.
Right.
Yeah, and he tackled that really well.
Exactly.
So yeah, that one's well worth checking out. The Dark Knight Metals is well worth checking out.
So Dark Knight Metal you want to read, but then now there's they're doing a Batman Who Laughs miniseries.
Oh.
All the art's done by Jock. Who Jock is fantastic.
Yeah, he does a good job.
Yeah, and they introduce a character called the Grim Knight too, and you don't really know what's going on yet with it. It's only 2 issues in. Like if you want to jump in on bottom level, but
it's like they came out with that War Thor.
Yes.
All of a sudden you're like, what the hell is War Thor?
Right.
Who's that? And you're like, oh, that's
you're like,
one guy.
Oh, badass. That's what it is. Got it. Fair enough.
Volstagg? It was Volstagg.
Yeah.
That's who it was.
Yeah,
One of the Warriors 3.
Yeah.
Yes.
When you're like, that's the most unlikely person
Right.
you'd think to give this bit. It worked out, though. It was cool. It was like
Perfect.
Beta Ray Bill. One of those weird horse-faced alien guy.
Which, speaking of Better Ray Bill, he's in the new Guardians lineup.
Yeah.
In the new Guardians of the Galaxy.
That's what I was going to ask you about.
Transition.
That is good. Segue. You segued
Segue.
nice.
Yes.
So, Guardians of the Galaxy.
Yes.
There's a new lineup.
There's a new lineup.
Star-Lord.
This week just started.
Star-Lord's still a mainstay.
Yes.
Groot
Groot
is still a mainstay, and he has a sweet mohawk.
He has a sweet mohawk.
I've seen that image.
He doesn't just say "I am Groot" anymore, though.
Oh.
I don't know. So I might have missed something in the comic books where he talks, but yeah, no, he's like he says lots of things now. Like "F you." he
Guardians of the Galaxy new lineup.
Yeah.
Has some that were former
Right.
Guardians.
Yeah.
Moondragon.
Yeah.
And Marvel.
Yes.
Or
no, not Marvel.
Not Marvel. It's something Vel.
Yeah.
Something Captain Marvel related.
One of the-
I know that.
It's got a
Or
bunch of
Quasar related. I don't know.
yeah. So it's interesting who they're picking, and I don't quite know. That's the lineup right now.
Yeah.
That's the second. You're talking about the second Quasar, the chick that was Quasar.
Yeah, I think that's what I got.
And Darkhawk. And Silver Surfer. And so it's kind of interesting because I don't really know where it's going yet. I read the first issue, and basically the first issue is them gathering everyone together to decipher this message.
Okay.
Well, no, to decipher this message of Thanos. Like, spoiler alert: the last series that came out from Marvel, I don't remember if it was an Infinity War-esque type thing. It might have just been called Infinity Wars.
Something.
Thanos ends up dying in it, but in the funeral-esque type thing, Star Fox brings everyone together and goes, "We found this message on his person."
Star Fox.
Yeah.
Not Nintendo Star
Not
Fox.
Nintendo Star
No,
Fox.
no.
He's not an adorable
But-
spacefaring type.
Yeah.
That, much better.
He's got Wolverine hair.
He's a loathsome.
Yes.
He's got Wolverine hair, and he's like, what, Thanos' brother?
Yep.
Thanos'
Yep.
brother. But he's a loathsome.
And not purple.
person.
Not great,
Right.
And he pops the collar like Nightwing in the 80s.
Still wearing that.
That's right, exactly.
It takes a while from space to Earth to get
Right.
that fashion message.
They're like,
across,
oh, got it. So basically he gathers everyone together because they find this message of Thanos that goes, you killed me. I've already transferred my consciousness somewhere else. I'm growing in somebody across the galaxy somewhere.
Great.
Good luck finding me.
Oh, like
And then disappears.
He's in Skywalker or something.
Yeah, right, exactly.
Right.
So
that's how I think they've announced recently that's how we got Anakin.
yeah,
Because the Emperor is just weird magic
right.
Sith stuff to Shmi, and
Oh yeah.
now we got Hayden Christensen, which is great. But okay, so now they have on the team is Star-Lord.
Yes.
Of course, leader of the Guardians. 'Cause
Right.
You have to have a leader, and I guess why not be him?
Yes.
Cosmic Ghost Rider.
Oh, Cosmic
Yeah,
Ghost
so
Rider.
cool.
A lot of you know
So cool.
Ghost Rider out there. A lot of you know cosmic stuff. Okay, when you merge the two, you get a Cosmic Ghost Rider, which wasn't a thing until Frank Castle, the Punisher, died.
Yeah.
And he made a deal to get the Spirit of the Vengeance, the Ghost Rider.
Yes.
And then he goes and makes a deal with Galactus
Right.
to become a herald.
Yes.
So now he is this weird cosmic
Imbibed with the power cosmic. Yeah, man.
And when they're the third thing,
He becomes Thanos'
he
herald
becomes
later.
Thanos' herald
Yeah.
later, and they keep Hulk on a chain who's eating people.
Oh, dude, it's a
That's
gnarly
a weird dark series.
Yeah.
That one's Thanos Wins.
Thanos wins. Yep.
Thanos Wins. If you get a chance to check that one out, that's newer, and that's
Yeah.
I've read through some of that, and that's just crazy.
So like you,
It's a weird future.
it is. It's very strange.
So we get the Cosmic Ghost Rider from that.
Yeah.
He's now in our dimension, or
yes. So he had his own solo series,
Right.
Where like he goes basically, and they're like, "Well, do you want to go back to any certain time?" And he said he's going to go back and kill Thanos, and he
Okay.
ends up not. Anyway, I don't want to ruin the series, but
Right.
but basically through events in that series, he comes into our universe.
Yeah.
You know.
The 616.
Yeah. Right. So what's crazy about so Donny Cates is writing this. Donny Cates is to Marvel what Tom King is to DC. So you got these two
Right.
new guys who are just powerhouse writers.
Yeah.
So good, coming out with all these new ideas that are fantastic. And Donny Cates is doing it for Marvel. I mean, it's great to see.
Yeah.
So
No, those are good storytelling and awesome artwork for it.
Absolutely.
I really like Cosmic Ghost Rider. It's cool.
Yeah.
All right, so we got Groot, which we mentioned, who now has a mohawk.
Yeah.
Star-Lord,
yep,
Cosmic Ghost Rider.
yes,
Moondragon.
Blue Dragon.
The
Yep.
other
Who
Vel.
was the,
Yeah.
And
Somebody.
Moondragon was the daughter of
No,
Drax.
no
Yes.
Rocket?
No Rocket.
Where's Rocket?
I don't know.
Nobody knows?
So they mention Rocket and they're like, we don't talk about him anymore. And I'm like, what
he's
happened
sold
with
everybody
Rocket?
out, maybe.
Yeah,
He's always been leaning towards that. Even
Right.
in the movies, he's leaning towards
exactly.
Well,
This
So-
is
that's the
something
great
that
thing about
happens.
Guardians, though, is I think a lot of newer fans don't realize that they associate the movies. Guardians of the Galaxy was a rotating roster of
And it'd
people
been around for a
long
while.
time.
Yeah.
And the older stories are really, really good, too.
Yeah,
Right.
long before there was a
when
Star-Lord.
Star-Lord was actually
and
like
Drax
a general in this war.
Right.
The Annihilation.
yeah, right.
Annihilation,
Oh.
which is a really good series.
Dude. yeah.
He
If-
fought next to Nova.
Yeah.
I mean, and they were... Star-Lord's not the cocky... I mean, he's got a lot of reasons to be cocky for just a human dude.
Yeah.
He had cybernetic implants at one point
Right.
in time, and just... He's
That-
gone through some weird changes for being just taken from his planet,
You mentioned
raised out in space.
right,
I mean,
exactly. You mentioned Annihilation, though. I gotta mention that scene where Nova goes up against Annihilus and reaches down his throat and just pulls everything
Yeah.
out. It's just this
Just
huge,
turns him inside out.
It's like this, a
Yeah.
double-page spread. I'm like,
Yep.
oh,
Well,
so good.
and Marvel's known for doing that, because
Yeah.
they did it again with Sentry,
Right,
Shredded Carnage.
Carnage in half.
And
Yeah,
then there's another one too that I remember seeing something. Well, the Hulk ripped somebody
Yeah.
in half. I think.
Oh,
rips people in
Hulk
half.
always rips them.
Wolverine.
and
yeah.
speaking of Donny Cates again, and you bring up the symbiotes, he's also writing Venom right now.
Oh,
And
okay.
the Venom, where they've taken Venom and made him, they've kind of done everything with him.
Yeah.
And
What
he-
else can you do?
Space Knight.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Matt Gargan was him for a while, and Flash Thompson. Where he did,
Yep. Yep.
So he's back with Eddie,
Okay.
and basically what they do
He's not
is
white.
he's not. Nope.
Okay,
He's just straight up Venom
Venom,
again.
okay.
Which, hey, all right, you know,
Yeah.
get him back to
Yeah,
where he
absolutely.
needs to be.
Go back to the roots.
Yeah.
Sure.
Basically, his symbiote starts freaking out in the beginning of the series, and you find out that the symbiote's from another planet.
Sure.
On that planet, there's a god. The god is called Null.
The planet Clintar.
Yes,
That's what it's
absolutely.
called, yeah, Clintar.
So, basically, Null is coming to Earth, and it's a giant symbiote dragon, gnarly, awesome.
Ooh,
Oh, it's
like a Dragon Ball
yeah,
Venom.
yes, a Dragon Ball Venom.
Venom Ball.
Yes,
Yeah.
Z.
Venom Ball Z.
I got,
Right.
I got Venom balls.
Oh,
Oh, man.
congratulations!
Jeez, that comes with age,
Just
probably.
wash, man. God.
Anything else really big currently that I should tell people to rush to your store for?
The big out of the big two, that's the stuff that's blowing my mind. Oh, the other thing, I'm not reading it because I fell behind on it. It happens to everybody,
Yeah.
clearly.
Right.
Immortal Hulk.
Oh.
Everybody is talking about
And we
Immortal
talked
Hulk.
briefly off the air about this. I was talking to producers and stuff how they made Hulk immortal.
Yeah,
He's,
right.
he's back from the dead.
Well-
That had something to do with the hand, didn't it?
It's so
Damn
basically
ninjas. All the time with them.
you damn
All the
ninjas.
Lousy
time with them
ninjas.
damn hand ninjas.
So basically, it's him being told from other points of view, where it's not always just following the Hulk. Because
Sure,
you
sure.
can only do so much from the Hulk, and
Yeah.
everyone I've talked to is like, I have not caught up on this.
Right.
I need to catch up on Immortal
He's
Hulk.
smart.
Yeah.
He's got his
And
senses about him.
it's
And he's
great.
angry.
Yes.
That's
That's
dynamite.
that's good. Fantastic Four is good.
I've heard Fantastic,
Fantastic
Four
Four
is
has
great.
returned.
Is great.
Yes.
Yeah.
About time.
Yeah, well, the Sue and Reed were
Yeah.
off,
Gone.
gone. They're like, we're not dealing with this shit
Yep.
anymore. We're leaving our
Exactly.
kids in space. We'll come back. I know where they are.
Yes.
Yeah.
You know, I've created this dimension of safety and cotton balls for them.
They've got basically a future foundation. Yeah.
You have Franklin.
Yeah, right.
Franklin's like the end all be all mutant
Yeah,
of the
Franklin's
Marvel
the
universe.
scariest
Right.
possible.
He is,
Seriously,
and
yeah.
a lot of people who may or may not know that in comic book. I mean, Franklin Richards is like the ultimate being in Marvel.
Yeah.
I mean, there's the one above all.
Yeah, right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But he's up on that level of
He's
this,
Omega
this-
level, yeah, for sure.
because they had a weird story of time travel and stuff, and Franklin was involved in the future, and he kind of looked like his grandfather,
Right.
Reed Richards' dad.
Yeah.
Nathan, who's been traveling through time and was an Iron Lad or something. All kinds of weird. Yeah, it gets convoluted. The time travel and the
does.
weird clones and shit. It gets kind of confusing.
It
Like
gets-
now, Cable's back, right?
Cable's
In the
back,
X-Men?
but it's a younger
and there's
Cable.
another Cable because he killed the old one,
Yes.
and he's trying to stop this other Cable.
Yes.
Stop that.
I know, right?
Now.
Knock it
You
off.
tell them.
I'm going to. I'll be like, listen here.
Let's hear it.
Editors,
There's
writers, knock it
Anyway.
off.
companies.
Punky said.
That's
I
right.
said so, and it's frankly it's getting a little old.
Yes.
But
But that's
Groot was his tree.
yeah, right.
Honestly, you know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly.
It's Fantastic Four. My wife hates him. Won't do anything to do with him. I made her watch the Corman one.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
It's the closest comic book adaptation that there
It-
wasn't.
It really is, and it's so over the
that
top.
there isn't.
but- yeah.
Isn't at the same time.
Did you watch the documentary too? The after the fact?
I think that's we've watched so many documentaries about weird
Right.
VHS stuff and movies that shouldn't have ever been.
Yeah,
that it's
you
hard
know.
to keep. I've seen clips of things.
Yeah.
They talk to Corman and guys from Mystery Science Theater, of course, because they've done a lot of Corman movies.
Right.
And they talk about some of the effects of having his movies were so poor and that they're just out. They're just pretty much giving them away.
Right, yeah,
You
yeah.
know, we didn't make any money off these. We have these. Do you want them?
Please?
Yeah, we'll make
Please,
jokes about
do you
them.
want them?
We love you and your movies.
Yeah.
Don't get us wrong for the camp and the horror.
But
But let's be honest.
Yeah. And I got to touch at least a little bit on some indie stuff that's coming
Yeah.
out too.
Yeah.
Oh my god! So like, it's not just Marvel DC because that's
No,
what
no.
I hear from everybody. You know, like
well, we talk about a lot of that because that's the main vein
Sure.
of the pop culture as far as comic books.
yeah,
go.
right. If you're going into indie stuff, you know, I mean, like everybody's like, oh, Walking Dead and all this kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Which Walking Dead is great, but
Yeah.
there's new series that are popping out, like a book called Farmhand,
Okay.
where this guy inadvertently learns how to grow back body limbs through plants.
Oh.
And it turns out that the things that he's putting on people are kind of giving plant zombie-esque vibes off of
Plants
them.
for Zombies.
Yes,
Right.
It's fantastic. That's
sounds like a fun race.
it's
Yeah.
so good. It's
Yeah.
really good, and it's drawn kind of cartoony. If anybody ever read Chew, it's the same guy who drew that.
Really?
Yeah, yeah.
That's an old comic strip for the kids at home.
Yeah.
Old comic strip called Chew about a bird.
About a bird
Nope,
reporter.
nope, not that one.
No?
Choose about a guy. Sorry, I know what you're talking about.
I thought that one too.
Nope, sorry.
I went way farther than I should have.
Chew was about a guy who was a detective who his captain hated him because, well, okay, Chew has this ability. He works for the FDA, which is essentially the FBI.
Sure.
Whatever he tastes, he gets a psychic impression off of. So if he eats a
Weird.
peach, he can see the tree that the peach was grown on.
Oh, so shoe like a gumshoe.
Yeah. No, chew.
Chew.
Like your mouth.
Oh, I thought you said
Oh.
shoe.
No.
You heard shoe.
I heard shoe.
Okay.
No, chew.
Chew.
Alright.
Scratch what we just said. Forget all that. We don't edit anymore, so
he-
just forget what you heard.
He gets a psychic impression off of
Okay.
whatever he eats. His boss is like, well, guess what you're going to be tasting? A toe of a dead guy to figure out who killed him. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, so that one gets weird.
It gets real weird, but it's drawn cartoony, so it doesn't get as dark. Like, if it wasn't
So it
drawn...
doesn't feel as offensive.
Yes,
Yeah.
exactly.
Your
exactly.
kids are in the arena.
It's...
He's eating a toe. What are you reading?
Right.
Oh, look how cute it is.
It's
Oh,
fantastic.
He's got stars in his eyes.
Yes. Another one, too, Scotty Young is writing some books. Scotty Young, so good.
Scotty Young is great.
He wrote Bully Wars, which is a new one
Okay.
that just came out, which is awesome. It's exactly what it sounds like. These kids who are bullies in high school have to go into this competition to figure out who the main bully is in this.
Oh. Who's the bulliest?
And who's the bulliest. Great read, really fun. It's a 6-part miniseries.
Oh.
Middle West is another one that is fantastic that he's putting out right now. I honestly, it's still kind of going where it's like this dad who kind of hates his son, and you find out that the dad is actually like the North Wind. Like he's has the ability to turn himself into like
Wow.
tornadoes and all this crazy stuff. And
That is crazy.
it's only a couple issues in, but man, it's like really I'm drawn in. I'm like, this is gonna be fantastic.
That's good.
Yeah.
What other indie titles? Any more indie titles?
God, I know there's
Well,
more.
I know
I'm
you guys
blanking.
do picks of the week.
Yeah,
So
absolutely.
if they find you on Facebook,
Yeah,
Parties,
absolutely.
Collectors Corner on Facebook. They do picks of the week with some of the guys from Quarter Nerds.
Quarter Nerds, yep.
We can talk about them here. This isn't
Yeah.
technically a podcast.
Yeah, right.
So it's
No.
fine. And Drew married me.
Yeah.
Not.
Oh, why didn't we get invited?
Oh, that's
you.
so
You were
progressive.
invited. You were all there, believe
was-
me. I didn't marry Drew McCarthy, just for the record.
That's unfortunate.
Wanted to,
I love him with all my heart.
but
Yeah.
I did want to. He
He'd
was
make a
unavailable.
great second wife.
he's like, oh, Drew
would
can
make
be
it.
your trophy.
He would.
Oh.
Yes.
Honestly, he is a trophy wife. He's a catch. But no, you do picks of the week with Tommy.
John Carrasco.
Tommy's his mom.
Okay. His wife, mom?
His wife, mom.
Oh,
I'm so
no.
far off on names. I'm bad at this.
It's okay. You used to do radio,
I
right?
used to do radio. I was actually this bad in radio.
Yeah.
But no, you guys do picks of the week, which I tune into.
Thanks,
There's
man. I
either a different
appreciate it.
shirt or a funny hat.
Yeah,
Sombrero Day was my favorite.
Oh, that was fantastic.
Sombrero.
Yeah.
Sombrero Day.
So we started a thing, and we kind of just like let it lapse because like I ran out of ideas. But we were like, we're gonna each wear something stupid during the cast. We'll take turns, but we're not gonna reference it at all. It's just gonna be like John.
It's just natural.
Yeah, so like John wore overalls with no shirt in one of them, just chilling. I wore a sombrero in one of them. We both wore a little like spirit masks,
Yeah.
you know, in one of them,
Yeah.
you know. And we gotta start doing that.
And
again.
that's
That was
what really
fun.
drew me into it.
Yeah.
Was the costume. Like, what the hell are these two doing?
What are you even doing right now?
I've known you both for a long time. Like, I'm curious.
Eventually, they got to talk about what they're not going to talk
Right.
about it.
But Tardy's Collector's
Okay.
Corner.
Yeah.
Since 1979.
Boom, 40th anniversary this
Keeping
year.
Grand Rapids geeky. And they have.
Yeah,
You guys
see?
keep me and my family geeky. We
That's-
come down for the Halloween parties.
Yeah, man.
And the other stuff.
Yeah,
My
what kind of
kids know
events
you
got
guys.
coming up this
Well,
year?
we got the 40th anniversary, which is going to be June 8th. I don't know what all we're planning. We're still working on what we're planning yet. I will tell you
It's
this.
gonna be big.
It's
Yeah.
going to be big. We're going to have there's going to be a lot of giveaways. Already I can tell you we're going to be giving some stuff away.
People like stuff.
Yeah. And also, speaking of stuff, we do a monthly giveaway of a giant omnibus. I don't know if you've
Oh.
checked out that at all.
Yeah, I saw you guys posted something about that.
So if you have a pull list with us, every time you pick up your pull list, you get a raffle ticket. Also, if you turn in a previews, you get a raffle ticket. Every month we draw a raffle ticket, and you win. We've given away Scotty Young Complete Oz, the big hardcover.
Really?
Oh, that was a good series.
We
yeah,
give away that.
that is a good series.
Right now we're doing Inside the Kirby and Simon Studios, and it's all original artwork. Yes.
That's why I wore them today.
Perfect. Very nice. So we're constantly giving away those once a month, and all you have to do is have a pull list
How do
with
you have
us.
product in your store left?
I don't know. It
I
doesn't
don't
make
know.
sense.
Oh, because you guys are always at conventions and other places around the world
And we-
and,
and
the
buy
country.
collections.
We can't stop buying.
San Diego.
Yeah, man.
Our local Grand Rapids Comic Con.
Yeah.
And without you
Yeah.
and your lovely wife,
Aw.
I would not be involved with, wouldn't have gotten married there.
Dude, I'm
Roger
so
and I wouldn't be as close as we are.
yeah.
Yeah.
I'm so glad
That's
that
true.
worked
You
out.
bring people together.
Yeah, that's what we do. That's what we're here for.
That's what the comic book industry is about.
Well, and the great thing about Tardy's too is it's not just a comic shop.
No.
There's classic toys.
Yeah.
There's
Oh,
there's
yeah. Board
so-
games.
Board
Yeah.
games.
There's
so
a
much
Batman
stuff
game.
going on
There's
in there,
posters. There's old magazines.
Yeah, man.
You guys got just a variety of weird
Did we
stuff.
a
mention
little bit of
Shogun
everything.
Warriors?
Yeah, right. We've got
Shogun Warriors.
We've got not one but two Shogun Warriors on the shelf right now.
If you've never been there, when you walk in, there's a glass case staring you in the face, which is immediately when I make a beeline to you. Not just because it's directly in front of me,
Right.
but it's got so much cool stuff as far as action figures and your models and everything else. It's
Yeah.
beautiful.
And so the whole top we're doing, and we're probably going to change it at some point, but like right now, it's all giant Godzilla stuff. So we have a Mothra with I think it's a 16-inch wingspan. It's like this, and then the stand makes it about this tall,
Yeah.
and it's
'Cause you had that
huge.
Rodan. You still got the Rodan?
I sold the Rodan, yeah.
I thought so.
So
I used to see it a lot.
yeah.
Out of my price range.
I had that first summer. I put it
Right.
put it up online and sold it in a day.
It's a big
so-
Mothra, though.
I know, man.
And that new one's coming with that new one coming out.
Oh,
You
I
seen the
know.
trailer?
Oh, yeah.
Trailer.
So
We talked about it briefly here. We watched it on the big screen, and we're just floored by it.
Yeah.
We had to steam clean the couch.
yeah,
Yeah.
The first time I watched it, I told this story every time. I couldn't hear it because my wife.
yeah.
I'm like, "Are you part dolphin all of a sudden? What happened to you?" No, she's like, "Oh!" I was like, I cannot hear a word they're saying.
That scene where they show
Kaiju noises.
Mothra's wings just.
Yeah,
I'm
it's
like, oh.
beautiful. Or
It's-
even when Rodan just goes across the sea, all you
Yes.
see is a shadow, and then Destruction.
Yes.
If you haven't seen that trailer, go see that
Go
trailer.
watch it right now.
Tardy's is on Burton and Eastern.
Yeah.
Pretty much right in the corner.
We're
You can't miss it.
constantly-
In Grand Rapids, Michigan, if you're watching this anywhere else
Yeah.
in the country.
Yeah, I mean,
find him on Facebook.
we
If
can
you have
send
general
you stuff,
questions,
sure.
send him stuff.
It's worth the plane ticket to come out. If you're
Yeah.
from
It
anywhere else.
is.
And-
Just to come to Grand Rapids
Yeah,
alone.
absolutely. Yes, exactly. I am not going to fight with that at all.
Yeah.
No, and we're constantly buying new stuff. So if you're like,
Always.
man, I was in there a couple months ago, you haven't seen anything.
No. Every
I-
time I go to your store, there's something new.
Yeah, right. I was late today getting here
You were.
because I bought a collection.
Do you want-
I wanted to,
Yeah.
So I brought
Before we move to the other stuff.
just a couple things to show off that we just bought.
And if you're any fan of comic books, okay,
Yeah,
these things right here.
yeah. So
and they're mint condition.
they're
gorgeous.
beautiful, man. Like this whole guy's collection was gorgeous. So I just grabbed kind of some cool stuff to show off.
Absolutely.
First Hobgoblin.
These are things you can find in his store.
Super cool book. It has the tattoos in it. I'll wait on that one to the last because that's the
Yeah.
coolest one.
Right.
I gotta show off the coolest
Right.
one last. First Scott Lang Ant-Man.
Yep.
Just bought today.
Yep. Our very first look at Paul Rudd.
Yeah, man, absolutely. Yup, he's gonna smack that microscope away or stomp it. First Deathstroke.
With a Deathstroke imposter.
Yeah, exactly. Perfect. And
Killing
then
off Titans one by one.
oh, it's so good. And then this was the one that I was excited about.
So clean.
I got the list.
If you're a fan or a collector of any way, shape, or form,
First Punisher.
it's a coveted.
Oh my god,
Amazing
so
Spider-Man, first appearance of the Punisher.
good. Yeah,
Hunting for the Jackal.
Yeah.
Part of that whole damn clone saga.
it's
And a lot of it started in that episode.
yeah, it really did. This is such a hard book to find, especially when you look at the colors. We talk about that all the time, where like
Yeah.
the printing on the comic books, the
They
colors
fade over time if people don't store them right.
right, but they
Yeah.
pop just
Yeah.
in a weird way.
Yellow makes
Yeah.
everything jump.
And I also mentioned that
Yeah.
a lot of them had the word blurbs like, "Oh, that's right, Raven. I've killed all the Titans. There's nothing you can do to stop me now." Well, that was gross.
That's
There's
delicious.
nothing you can do to stop me now. It's like, I will be the supreme. It's like, okay, there's so much dialogue right now on
Right.
the cover.
Right, exactly.
What's going on inside?
Yeah.
And sometimes it wasn't
It didn't
always.
match up.
Yeah, it
Almost-
didn't really
no.
match up.
Yeah.
No.
Face it,
Wasted-
Batman. I'm gonna shoot you in the future, but also in the past, and you won't exist ever.
Some of the ones that stick in my mind are like Robin or Batman, like crying by his grave, like, "Oh, Robin died." And
Yeah.
it's like that's all it says, and he's just like, "Oh,"
Yeah,
like,
right.
crying to the sky, like doing the Vader. No,
Right.
And it
It's
doesn't
just-
happen
it's-
at all.
It
in
No.
the
doesn't
issue.
happen at
No.
all. You're like, what? No,
There-
he didn't. He faked his death so he
That
could
was
stop Riddler from
that
some
was
stupid.
Yes.
Bait and switch.
Enough
Exactly.
now.
Yes.
This is usually the part of the show where we tie into other forms of pop. We take pop culture and we connect it with things of the topic, comic books today, with music. And there are a lot of things that tie into music in comic books.
Oh yeah.
You brought up the band Entombed.
Entombed did Wolverine Blues.
Entombed is a metal band that did Wolverine Blues. It's very heavy. It's
And
fantastic.
I recall at the time in the '90s when it came out, they actually did a tie-in with Marvel
With the comics.
Yeah.
And the
I
cover
believe
of the
that they
CD
did.
was Wolverine. It was,
We mentioned Danzig was a huge fan of Wolverine.
Oh.
He actually wanted to be cast as him. I think he tried real hard in the 90s.
So you think I don't know.
Because he's like 5'5".
Yeah, exactly. I was gonna say I don't know if he has acting chops at all, but like
He was in Prophecy.
Oh, you're right. He was.
Yeah,
I forgot
yeah.
about that.
Yep, he has been in a movie.
But his stature and his build, where he's like got
Yeah.
that style, he could have been Wolverine.
He could
man.
have been. I think they missed an opportunity with him. However, he had that big meathead. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Which he still has.
Yep.
It's just the rest of him's growing out to match it. What was another one that we were talking about?
Henry Rollins, Ghost Rider.
Henry Rollins
yeah.
Ghost Rider, which I still stand by to this day that it was way ahead of its time.
Yeah.
That they used it too early in The Crow, which The Crow was a fantastic movie with Jason Lee. I'm pointing at this guy like he's here. With Jason Lee, it had a great soundtrack.
Yeah.
phenomenal,
Fantastic soundtrack.
But I think they needed to use it for the Ghostbusters movie.
Ghost Rider.
Did I say Ghostbusters?
You said Ghostbusters.
That's on my brain because
I was gonna say because that's not gonna work.
I got to talk about that too, though.
And Brandon Lee.
Brandon Lee.
You said Jason Lee, the guy from Mallrats.
Sorry, you talked to Stan Lee like he was here, too.
I did that. Yeah, I talked to Stanley like he's standing
Yeah.
right behind me. I don't remember a lot of things. I just combined like 4 different genres of things.
That's
So-
okay.
So we have Jason Lee
Yes.
in The Crow
Yes.
with a good soundtrack.
Nope. Brandon Lee.
We have Brandon.
Brandon Lee,
Jason Lee's the guy from My Name
Crow.
is Earl.
My Name is
and-
Earl.
you
who
know.
used to skateboard
Yeah.
Yeah.
wonderfully, by the way. If you haven't
Absolutely.
seen that, Jason Lee skateboard.
Yeah.
Mallrats. That's one of my favorite movies.
It's so good.
Anyways, Ghost Rider
Yeah.
should have been used in the Ghost Rider film.
Yeah.
That's working out today.
Then the Ramones did Spider-Man on the Saturday morning cartoon.
Yeah.
And the Spawn soundtrack.
Oh.
And that sticks with a lot of people. Our combined generation. You know what I mean? It gave us a lot of stuff.
Yeah, man.
That electronica with some weird metal and dark stuff.
It was never done before. Like those kind of mashups, you're like, how did they get?
Kind of. I mean, there was that Judgment Night soundtrack.
Judgment Night.
That had like Pearl Jam and Cypress Hill and De La Soul with Teenage Fan Club and stuff like that, which was it was a great alternative. Oh yeah,
it was a mediocre film at best, but it was a really good soundtrack.
There was Faith No More with.
I can't remember who it was, but that was a standout track.
So heavy, and just Mike Patton just screaming his face off. Silver Surfer appeared on an album cover.
With
you remember that one? You're an old guy.
Joe Satriani.
Surfing
with the Alien.
Surfing with the Alien. Had Silver Surfer on the cover.
Yeah.
There is a guy named John Michael Thor. He was a bodybuilder for the longest time. Weightlifter, bodybuilder. Won many competitions from Canada. And he was in a movie called Zombie Nightmare.
Yeah.
He was also in a movie called Hell... I can't remember what it was, but he played like this defender of something where he wound up in like a loincloth with a sword fighting this weird puppety demon. All B movies. Both of them just terrible. One of them was on Mystery Science Theater. The other one was on Rift Rax, which is a spinoff. And he does music. Nice. He's been doing music. He tours around still to this day doing music. And he's got a documentary about him that's on Netflix I watched, and it's just depressing as hell. It's just sad what goes on in his life. It's like, he tried to do porn, but he had like a small penis, and they told him that. That's rough, dude.
When you can't do porn like that.
Can't do porn. They're like,
way to point out your shortcomings.
On that note, comic books and movies we've talked about till we're blue in the face, but there are things coming.
Oh, yeah.
Captain Marvel is coming.
Yes.
Soon. I mean, we're in a new year. She's coming to us.
This week I saw the teaser poster for Spider-Man Far From Home.
Yes.
That's
and that
so
trailer,
cool
if you get a chance to watch that, it's got a lot going on. It's It's hard to take in. Hydra Man, I had heard, was going to be one of the villains, and I do see a watery person.
Right.
But then there was like a sand and a fire person too, and people are like, "Oh, that's so and so. That's so and so." It's like that's probably just Mysterio. Let's be honest. But they're painting him like a good right, and they're painting Mysterio like a good guy, which I'm kind of digging. But
that was his first appearance.
Right. Before he got.
Yeah. He showed up and he was like, "No, Spider-Man, I'm a good guy," and then you find out that it's all illusions that he's just.
Which I'm thinking that's what they're doing in this, making it pretty simple. But Nick Fury's back.
I know.
It's a big year for Nick.
I know.
Captain Marvel and
Spider-Man, going back to his youth, and then wherever he is in time right now, or whatever's happening with the Infinity stuff, which is going to be coming to us as well. We get part 2
right in between those,
so we can finally get some answers to these damn questions. And is the Black Knight going to show up?
Oh man,
have you heard of this?
I've not, but man, that would be awesome.
Dane Whitman's name, who is the Black Knight in the comics, his name is being tossed around. Like there's a clip during Ant-Man when they showed Ant-Man and the Wasp about that weird realm.
Yeah.
And Dane Whitman's name tossed him around as a character to be put into this new. Like they've been keeping it quiet.
That'd be interesting. Yeah.
He was an integral part of a lot of things, which is weird. With that ebony blade, which wants blood, but he refuses to give it blood. And sometimes he'll give it a little blood.
Little blood. Right. Well, you don't want it to die.
You don't want to overkill your
right.
enemy,
You know.
Yeah. Then they just lose their luster.
Right.
There's also Hellboy, which is going to be coming pretty soon.
Oh my God!
A lot of people are indifferent, like, "Oh, what's up with his face? Oh, it's not Ron Perlman." No, it's not. It's just an actor doing Hellboy.
Yeah,
shut up.
You all calm down. Because,
right. You know what I said? I'm like, Ben Affleck is Batman. Fuck that guy.
Yeah, right.
I hated Ben Affleck for the longest time, mainly because he was a douchebag on Mallrats. I know he was just being on that character.
He was just acting.
He's grown on me over the years, but
how dare you take a job? Tired of you.
He was the manager of Casual Mail. Didn't like that guy.
Right.
Punching people in the hallways. Beating
up
Randall. Or not Randall.
Being uncomfortable.
Yeah, right.
In uncomfortable places, like the back of a Volkswagen.
Yes, exactly.
But I wasn't a fan of it.
Yeah.
But then I watched and I'm like, he's a good Bruce Wayne.
Yeah, he's not bad.
He's a good Batman.
Yeah.
I'm like, all right, I like it. I'm sold. So, calm themselves. We'll see what happens.
So, and
David Harbour's a good actor.
The visuals look amazing.
And I am a legit fan of I've read all the graphic novels. I mean, I've got most of them. He is, and I'm excited to see more of a true adaptation because the Del Toro stuff is great. I love it. It's so good. But Hellboy's not a snarky kid that was a jerk to everybody.
No.
He is like, he wants to be legit. He's a very well respected.
He wants to do things.
You know? Yeah.
He wants to live his life not as a demon. He wants to be seen as everybody else, and he just wants to continue on, which is great. And he wants to hunt for artifacts. And you know what I mean? That's right. The comic series had that dark Indiana Jones feel with the demon.
Yeah.
Fighting weird spirits and stuff. One of my favorites, there's like a short tale of him. He goes to investigate this haunted house. And there's like ghosts mocking him everywhere. Like while he's walking through and this and that, he comes out, he's like, nah, nothing there.
Yeah, right.
Like, oh, okay, and they just drive off.
Yeah.
But there's nothing really to it. He's just kind of like, He's like grumbling through the house, and he's like, well, this is just, what is this?
This is just ridiculous.
Yeah. He's like, what is this? They show a panel of like this weird ghost thing, and they cut in, and he's like looking at just an empty room.
Yeah, right.
He's like, this is wasting my time, blah, blah, blah. But it's just stuck with me, because it was just such a great story.
Cool concept.
It was a cool concept, but the art just told the story, and it was cool. But he was hunting for artifacts and this and that. And,
and what's cool about it too is he ties into all of these old mythologies from different countries. Like they tie in the Baba Yaga and their chicken leg hut and all these different things. So
did you watch Punisher?
I haven't watched the second season yet. I've heard it's great though.
Do so.
Yes, I plan to. Yeah. I'm behind on the Marvel watchings.
Really?
Yeah.
Even the Daredevil?
Nah, I haven't watched that yet. I'm behind on everything.
I pray to Stan Lee up there. Hopefully he's listening.
Yes.
And they do something with them. I know Charlie Cox desperately wants to keep doing Daredevil, and he needs to.
Yeah.
Honestly, I'm glad we're in sync on this, because
he really needs to.
He is an amazing Daredevil.
Oh yeah,
and he brought that character back to a character.
Right
after the debacle of Ben Affleck again.
And I'm kind of looking forward to, and I know I watched it with Gavin every episode. I'm looking forward to the next season of Letterkenny.
Yeah, right.
No, The Runaways.
Yes, The Runaways.
Leonard Part 6.
Yes. No.
Part 7.
No. But yeah, The Runaways. Right. They took something that I didn't think would be translating well into
and I had heard that was in the Cloak and Dagger.
Yeah, Cloak and Dagger.
And what was there's the mutant one with Lorna, Magneto's daughter, Polaris, and some other people.
Not the Chosen.
Yeah.
Was it the Chosen?
I think it's something like that, like the Chosen something. Either way, that one's based on the X-Men. Some of the sub-characters of X-Men. I heard that one's pretty good, too.
I mean, they can go sub before they're hitting characters that nobody... I mean, like...
Oh, yeah.
They're like, oh, yeah, it's, Mondo. Like, oh, cool. Sweet, Mondo. All right.
Generation X.
Yeah, right.
Which they also tried on Fox back in the day.
Yeah, they did. Did you ever watch that made for TV?
Yeah.
Oh, man.
When it came out.
Me too.
Oh, it was
disastrous.
Yeah, it sure was.
It was the 90s.
It was a thing to watch, though.
It was a thing to watch, though, if you like comic books and stuff like that.
It was that or Wishbone that day for me, so I was watching that.
Wishbone.
I was like, I don't want to watch Wishbone.
It was either that or Baywatch Nick Fury.
Oh, yes,
exactly. Baywatch Nick Fury.
I still like that one. That was a good TV movie. Are there any other... I think I'm drawing a blank. I mean, obviously Godzilla.
For new movies coming out?
I was going to try and stick with comic books, but now I'm thinking of some newer stuff coming out. And Godzilla stands out in my head that we were talking about it.
God, there was something else I was just thinking of, too.
What's that one, the guy from Guardians? James Gunn.
Okay.
That dark Superman story. It's out there. It's about the being who falls to Earth. It's a horror movie.
Yes.
Yeah.
But it's the story of Superman.
Yes.
He crashes to Earth.
Irredeemable. Or that's what it's based on, is Irredeemable.
Right, but this nice couple finds him. They raise him. He's a young boy. He starts to realize he's different, has powers. He's drawn to the spaceship hidden in the barn. Yep. It's Superman. Mm-hmm. However, this kid doesn't quite get it, and then he's just suddenly evil and just murder everybody.
Yeah. Everybody's done.
It's a superhero horror story, and I think that's brilliant.
Yeah.
And of course, James Gunn.
And it's almost as if an as-if issue came to life.
Yeah, right. Exactly.
Which I still stand by.
Yeah.
Marvel people, my idea was to do the What If series.
Oh.
Wouldn't that make great for anything streaming?
Ever.
Every week you could do a different story.
Oh, yeah.
Half an hour or an hour. You could do 2 stories.
Yeah.
Half an hour each, and you can have all these actors or anybody else who can play these characters or want to play these characters.
It
doesn't have to be canon.
Yeah.
But they can still, people who want to be in a Marvel movie as a character.
Yeah.
Okay.
I was
directors.
Yeah. Right.
Exactly. You never know. I mean, again, Ben Affleck.
Right.
He's a director, producer, writer person. Maybe he's like, hey, I got a good Marvel story.
Sure.
I want to do one. Or Kevin Smith's like, who I always thought would be a good so-and-so.
Right. Yeah. Or, you know what? This is a good way for Disney to just go through people that are like auditioning and they're like, I don't know what we can... How you can do a What If, you know?
Exactly. Like Nathan Fillion.
Yeah, right.
Something violently.
Oh, man.
Let him be Wonder Man.
Dude, that was
when that
so
came out,
good.
Guardians 2, they were
so
teasing it. Yeah, Wonder Man would make actually a pretty good. I think he'd be a good character from the Marvel universe.
Yeah,
I mean, he's a he's a stuntman actor who has powers.
Right. They kind of bopped it because they can't do it.
Yeah.
Because they've already introduced Vision.
Yep.
You know, so they'd have to give him a new narrative and stuff. But they could.
Well, they
you know.
kind of did with Venom.
Yeah.
That
Right.
movie. Did you like that one?
I thought it was all right.
Yeah.
I went in with low expectations. So
Okay.
I think most movies, if you go in not thinking it's gonna be the best thing you've ever seen.
I try to go into most movies like that.
Yeah. You know.
I like to be surprised.
You know what we almost forgot? Shazam.
Shazam! That
Dude,
new trailer is
that's-
out, and
yeah.
that's looking better.
I'm excited
Zachary
about
Levi,
that.
I'm surprised by this.
Me too.
I think it's going to be good though, but it's got that funny nature and it's got a lot of action and stuff like that. And of course, there's one out in theaters now. If anybody wants to go out to the theaters to see a good superhero movie,
Yeah.
you both went and saw one.
Oh yeah.
Glass.
Glass.
They went and saw Glass,
Whew.
and it's
good.
good. We're just gonna say it's awesome and it's good, and everyone needs to go see it.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay,
absolutely.
we'll let
Absolutely.
maybe we'll spoil it after people get caught up.
If
We'll
you're
come
a fan,
back for movie
yeah,
reviews. And
there you
stuff.
go. If you're a fan of Unbreakable and Split,
Unbreakable was great.
the-
Split was great.
Split was great. It fits right along.
It fits
I mean,
right in. The acting is still top notch. Actually,
Yeah.
even I would say James McAvoy took it even a notch better than he did in
Did
Split.
he? It
Yeah.
seems like he'd probably push it a little bit farther. So I'm looking forward to that. I'm
Whereas-
gonna get out to a theater. I'm in a theater.
this isn't gonna ruin
There's
much.
so much stuff going on.
Yeah, this isn't gonna ruin much, and you're gonna kind of assume this anyway. But like, he's pushing through the different character or the different people that are inside of his head at a more rapid rate, and it's just like, oh my god.
Yeah, I heard like there's 16 different
14.
14 different
14.
personalities.
And then it's awesome because in the credits there are 14 names, and next one's just one name who played it, and it was
Yeah.
James McAvoy.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, that's the only person that there is.
Right.
All right. We missing anything? Oh, video games.
Oh, comic book video games.
Comic
are
books, video games.
Wonderful.
Oh yeah.
They're everywhere. The latest one is Spider-Man.
Everyone
which
loves it.
is dynamite from what I hear. I gotta get my PS4 fixed because I have to play it. I have to play it.
I've heard it's
They're
great.
working on an Avengers one. I just put a new one on my phone. They have a mobile one called Battle Lines for Marvel.
Oh, cool.
You notice every game in here, it's Marvel.
Yeah,
There's
legit.
Strike Force, Champions, Puzzle Quest, Future Fight. There's a lot that you can find, mobile or consoles for superheroes. We were playing some old ones, Captain America.
Yeah.
And the Avengers.
Oh, that game was so hard.
Yeah, the
Holy
X-Men
crap.
one. No, the X-Men one on that was harder.
Yeah.
With Cyclops, you can only like shoot in one direction or something
Yes.
like that. It's ridiculous. But comic book video games are a dime a dozen nowadays.
Yeah.
Heard they're working on a nice Avengers one, like a really solid like RPG style. Like
Yeah.
you're a character and it's just awesome.
Do you have a favorite? Like one that you're like
I do. I really like Marvel Ultimate Alliance.
that
And
one?
they're coming back out with that one for
Oh.
the Wii U or the Wii whatever.
Man, I don't have a Wii.
I
and
don't either.
really
I
want
know.
to play that.
I have to borrow one from the oldest
Man,
kid's boyfriend because
yes.
he's got one. I'll make him bring it over.
There you
But,
go,
yeah,
perfect.
but there's coming out an Ultimate Alliance 3,
Nice.
which who
That's-
knows? They might put it on other consoles. But
Yeah.
I think that's one of my favorites because it was based, or it was kind of that style of that X-Men Legends game that came out.
Yeah, which was
It
great
was
too.
the PlayStation, which had an overview,
Yeah.
and you got to be 4 characters, and you went through storylines from the
Yeah.
X-Men.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
had villains, and you could have other people, and it was
Go play Savage Land or
Savage Land, yeah, or you're going
Mojo
off to
World,
Mojo
or- yeah.
World, stuff like that. It was really cool. Arcades, Murder World.
Yeah, right.
They're always
It's so
great.
good.
Did you have a?
And I've just got to throw out there the Batman Arkham series.
Oh, yeah.
my god,
If
that
I
you
always
want
for-
like a good first,
Yeah.
not first person, but a third person where you get to be Batman.
Yeah.
it's cinematic because I will sit there
Yeah.
and watch it being played
Yeah.
and enjoy.
Yeah.
And that's why my
Yeah.
wife said that before. She could sit and watch it, like,
Yeah.
watch me play it. I mean, she doesn't sit and watch me play video games all the time, but
Yeah.
That one's so beautifully
It's-
rendered.
Yeah.
it really is. I mean,
Watching
everything
a
about
story.
it. You go from the rooftops to your Batmobile,
Right.
drive across town. I mean, it's basically they cordoned off Gotham.
Yeah.
The bridges
Yeah.
have been blown, and inmates are running the asylum, and it's just
really
And you
good.
can go into places like you're in the asylum, or you can go into Wayne Tower, or
Right.
you can go over to the back. I mean, it's just
And there's
Oh,
stuff in all
there's
of
so
them.
many
It's
Easter
in-depth.
eggs on like other
Yeah.
things. You
Yeah.
find like papers
And the
in
one-
the filing cabinet that relate to some
the black. What
character
is it?
from-
Blackgate. They had a Blackgate one, like
Yeah,
origin story,
right.
which wasn't too bad. Actually, that wasn't bad. It was along the same vein, but the controls were a little different.
Yeah, that's what I heard.
And then they kind of went
Arkham
back
Knight.
with the Arkham Knight.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
you introduced the Red Hood
So
in,
good,
and Jason
yeah.
Todd's story, and that's dynamite. The Joker just taunting him the whole way.
Right.
And Mark Hamill's Joker.
Oh.
Mark Hamill's Joker. You
That's-
just give me a movie of just that.
Yeah, that's all you need.
Just animate a Joker movie of just Mark Hamill doing the Joker.
That's
Put it on a loop.
And
I think
okay,
that'll.
completely off topic, but when I heard that Mark Hamill was assigned to the new Dark Crystal movie,
oh
yeah, I'm good.
That Netflix.
yeah.
I'm good.
Oh, Netflix picking up Nightmare on Elm Street
Really?
series. I saw there was a trailer for it. Something put out. It looked dark and scary, but I don't know if it's going to actually have anything to do with Freddy Krueger. It seemed like almost
Well, like
I-
the
like
original.
Friday the 13th series.
Yeah.
Remember that
Right,
one?
okay.
Or like
and there was a Nightmare on Elm Street
It was
series
Nightmare
too.
on Elm Street, the series. Yeah.
USA
Yeah.
Network or something, or like one of those. I remember they were cranking out some, but
Yeah.
Friday the 13th had nothing to do. It was just like
No.
haunted objects in a store.
Yeah.
Okay, that's a Stephen King novel.
Yeah, right,
That's
exactly.
a needful thing.
that's a Rick and Morty episode.
Hey, buddy. So we but I mean, so there's a lot of new things coming out as far as movies, Netflix. So binge watch.
Yeah.
Taking everything in theaters.
Yeah.
Make sure you guys go to what is it? Tardy's Collector's Corner, I believe.
Heard of them.
It's
What?
been around since '79, Grand Rapids. If you are from Grand Rapids,
Yeah, right.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, it's
If
not like
not,
you're,
yeah, we
tuning it up
mentioned,
over
yeah,
here.
that's right. Keeping things geeky.
Boom.
That's what they do at many conventions, and you guys are always friendly. And I love you and your wife to death.
Dude, and thank you so
We've
much.
known each other a long time.
We really have. No,
My kids appreciate you guys. My mother's met you at the flea market.
Yes, exactly.
Um,
And- oh,
Listen, even my parents know you.
yeah.
See?
I just
We're all family now.
all the families like me. Invite me to dinner.
Yeah.
No, yeah, no, it's dude. It means so much when I hear people say that kind of stuff. Like, case in point, this collection, the one that I was just showing off. This guy, he was from the other side of the state. He was from Flint,
Oh, okay.
and he had contacted a bunch of stores, and everybody kind of came in with the same offer around us, but we were the furthest out. But he goes, you know what? I've talked to you guys. I've looked at your store online.
Yeah.
You guys seem really cool, down to earth, and
Yeah.
everybody seems to like you. I'm bringing it to you guys.
Yeah.
That means the world. Oh
Yep.
my,
And
that
I
means.
see you guys at Comic-Con, how busy you are.
Dude.
And friends stopping by. Everybody's
Yeah.
like, oh, hey, guys.
I feel bad because I can only talk to about a third of the people that come by to say hi, because people would be like,
Yeah.
"Oh, I saw you at Comic-Con." I'm like,
Yeah.
I don't
Did you?
remember that. And they're
Face
like,
were you? Like, oh, I was wearing that one getup.
"Well, no, it would be like they'd be like, I saw you, but you were too busy, so I just kept walking."
Yeah.
I'm like, oh,
Yeah, I forced my way in. I don't even care.
absolutely.
I see your
You're
wife.
like, "I'm getting a hug."
I see your wife. She's all smiles. There's nothing stopping me.
That's
how it
right,
goes. And then I
exactly.
make it because you're the first booth I see
Right.
on my way to Roger.
Yes,
It
exactly.
was usually by the microphone that I got to talk into. So it's
Yeah.
you.
You've got
Roger.
you've got a route.
I
Yeah.
do have a route. It works out in my favor. I would also be remiss if I did not mention our sponsor, not sponsor, Puck Cider.
Cider.
They're delicious. They're crispy, refreshing. They are local, straight out of Conklin, Michigan.
Nice.
Which
That's
is just
awesome.
outside
Straight
of
out of
Sparta.
Conklin.
Oh yeah.
That's right, dogs. My good BFF and roommate, I've known the guy since high school. Him and his brother and his uncle, they do it themselves, pressing apples, making everything sciencey stuff.
Killer.
And I help them put it in cans, and we sell it to the masses in West Michigan and beyond. So make sure to go out and get yours anywhere you can find it. You can find them online, Puck Cider on Facebook and such. Befriend them.
Yes.
Befriend Tardies. Befriend me. Storytime with Uncle Punky. Roger, you're always available.
I'm always
Yeah,
around.
you can find the production crew.
Yeah.
We got them on the website.
Yeah.
I'm
So-
pretty. I don't hide on social media. I'm out there quite
You
a
don't
bit.
hide anywhere.
pretty.
Yeah, I know.
He doesn't hide anywhere.
No.
You may not recognize him without his vest, but
That's true.
Well, yeah, but I
sometimes
It looks.
I like to
he
spice
keeps
it up.
he's 80% of the reason that people still make vests.
He's.
He's keeping the market. He's keeping the market alive.
That's a T-shirt we all
Yeah.
need.
Yeah.
Next week we haven't even discussed yet, but we'll let you know when we know. So make sure you keep checking our Facebook.
We have one other thing that's not an announcement yet, but we just got approached on some cool stuff. I'm not gonna talk about who it is just in case it doesn't happen, but
Okay.
we might have a fairly big event before the anniversary coming up. So stay
Oh.
tuned. Yeah.
And we'll
Oh.
announce it here if you want to.
Yeah, please.
Everywhere.
Absolutely. It's gonna be exciting.
We'll spread the
Yeah,
gospel.
absolutely.
Okay, so you guys have all kinds of things to stay tuned for, and a possible topic for next week.
What? Get out of here.
I'm slow and I work for a living.
Professionalism.
All right, thanks everybody. Storytime with Uncle Punky.
Subscribe.
Subscribe, share.
it.
Oh my God. Subscribe and share. I've already said my goodbye. Should I go back?
No, you definitely should.
Okay.
Yeah, right.
We subscribe and share always through YouTube. Tell people about Twitch. Tell people about Kalamazoo television.
Yeah.
This and that. All the big things that are happening. They're going to continue to happen. More guests, more fun, local and beyond if we can. We'll spread this out to the world, like I said, like an infestation. It's going
World
to be
conquest.
wonderful.
I'm
Pop culture conquest.
Yes.
It's big now, but we can't do it without you. So if you don't share and subscribe, it's kind of pointless. It's just me talking to these guys, which I don't have a problem with, but it gets hot with these lights, and it's
Yes.
pointless. We're going to give you Roger's movie,
Ooh.
Meat Puppets.
Meat Puppets is
Nice.
going to be
So
on the interwebs.
if we can get at least 200 people to share and subscribe, Meat Puppets.
Oh, so good.
Right.
Worth doing. Seriously.
It's a cult classic.
Like and share. It's
Yeah.
you're gonna be like, what is happening? And then you're gonna be like, this is so dark, and you're like, oh, that's fantastic.
It
you
is
know?
fantastic. So we're going to give it to you. You want to see it? I know you do. That's from Roger.
How
from
many?
Gavin.
How many are you getting?
At least 200.
Oh my God, 200? That's
I
nothing.
think
Come on,
between
guys.
the three of us, we know at least
12 people.
12
Yeah.
people. Right.
Come on, those 12
Most
people.
of them are in this
Should
room.
free jacket up to 500?
Yeah, right. No, 200.
We'll work with
200's doable.
We'll start small.
Trust
we'll
me, if
build
you
our
haven't
way.
watched it, though, you're going to want to do this. I mean, it's fantastic.
It is. It
Piece
is
of cinema.
fantastic. So, and it's going to be all yours. Just help us help.
absolutely.
You help us, we'll help you. That's the way it works. Hey,
Hey.
that's what we do over here.
Ew.
All right.
Forget about it.
I'm all done with stories. We're done with stories, right? I didn't forget anything?
Well, until we talk off air about everything else.
I didn't
That's
forget
right.
anything. No. Shh. I didn't forget anything. All right. I had fun. Roger, Gavin, we'll keep you guys updated on Target.
Good seeing
We'll keep you
everybody.
updated on us.
Bye, everybody.
Enjoy your day.